The Cougars off to a perfect start in 2021, looking to keep the train rolling as the Palomar Comets crashing into Cougar Stadium here on a Saturday night, as we've got college football for you here on SoCalCollegeSports.com and the Cougar Sports Network. Hi, everybody. I'm Matt Robinson. Welcome into Cougar Stadium. Well, we're just a couple days removed from the 47th anniversary of this wonderful facility opening up, and what a great way to celebrate with some Cougar football, as Canyons is off to a perfect start, 3-0 on the year, including a big win last week over Fullerton on the road. Let's bring in the second member of our broadcast crew, Canyon Sports Information Director Jesse Munoz. And Jesse, the 3-0 start, not uncommon for the Cougs.
Absolutely, Matt, and good evening, everybody. But like you said, Cougars have started 3-0 8 times since the program was reinstated back in 1998, most recently in 2018, and a team that went 10-0 in the regular season. And Matt, looking back at the history books, you start 3-0. I mean, it's not guaranteed a successful season, but if you look back, and like I said, in the history books, a lot of those teams went on to do special things. Dating all the way back, 2003 team finished 11-1, went to the SoCal semis. 2004 team, of course, went perfect 14-0, state and national champions. 2005 team, SoCal championship game, and again, and on it goes. So again, certainly bodes well for the Cougars. You always like to get off to a hot start, and that's exactly what they've done. And
that's certainly something Coach Ted Iacenda knows, and we spoke to him earlier in this week about the hot start and what he needs to do to keep the team focused going into another tough stretch of football coming up.
Coach, third of the season in the books. Can't have a much better start than what you had, 3-0. Another tough week of football, another tough 3 weeks of football really coming in. What's the message in the locker room right now?
You know, I think we're really focused on progression. You know, I don't think we played our best football on Saturday, but it was nice to get a big win against a really strong Fullerton program. But we have work to do. So, you know, we talked about the films yesterday. We addressed some issues. And I think that's going to be our focus this week, is just get better on us. Not worry about who we're playing, but get better on us.
Okay, and that's kind of stems into my next question. Obviously, you look ahead, you know, your Riverside coming up in a couple of weeks. The focus needs to be on Palomar this week, though. What do you say to the boys to try and make sure that they're staying focused on Palomar?
You know, that's not really an issue for us. You know, we really do go one day at a time and week to week. And, you know, I tell them constantly, it doesn't matter who we play. It matters how we play, and that we play our game and that we execute what we want called. So that helps us kind of navigate the schedule, you know, so we're not peeking over the fence and looking at next week, because it doesn't matter who we play. We really need to focus on us.
Talk about focusing on us. Obviously, the offense had a little bit of trouble last week against Fullerton, but the defense was really the story. They played outstanding, had 2 big turnovers late in the game. What makes this defensive unit just so formidable to play against?
Well, we definitely play hard. There's no question about that. I mean, our strength and conditioning is second to none at this level, and that allows our kids to play harder longer than most teams we play. But we have great continuity on the defensive staff and on the defensive side of the ball, and we work hard at that all spring and all summer long to kind of develop those bonds, and we want kids to play for each other and play for the man next to them. You know, it's kind of a mantra we talk about every week, and, you know, it's a big part of our Cougar prayer week in, week out. So we've right now got really great chemistry on the defensive side of the ball. Some big-time sophomores that are leading the way, and some dynamic freshmen that have jumped on board as well. And, you know, it's led to us being really strong defensively.
And Jesse, there you hear Coach talking about the defensive side, and it's one thing that I wanted to touch on, point out to you. You spoke to him, and really the ability of this defense is something that stood out over the year. Right now, top 10 in the state on the defensive side of the football, and they were really the reason why the Cougars were able to take that win over Fullerton on the road.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. You talk about this team as a unit. Defense only surrendering 11.3 points per game. That ranks number 5 in the state. Interceptions and sacks, also a big stat marker for the Cougars. Number 13 sacks so far in the year, number 2 in the state, 5 interceptions, including 3 last week at Fullerton, that really just shut down the Titans offense and you know, clinched the game for the Cougars. And again, you heard Coach Iacenda talk about some of those sophomores. Jonathan Thomas, 22 total tackles, a sack, a tackle for loss, really doing his thing, exactly what we expected this year, leading the way. But some of those other guys, Cole Bullock, Brian Snoke, Dylan Brandenburg, all in double-digit tackle totals and really doing a good job out there.
A couple of big interceptions last week to close out that game. On the other side, the offense sputtered a little bit against Fullerton, just 22 points. Tuni Aikahihifu finished up last week. It'll be a different look if he gets to start this week, as Cole Doyle and this talented receiving crew has really been the reason the Cougars have been so good on the offensive side.
Absolutely. First and foremost, Colton Doyle, number 3 in the state, passing yards, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. But like you said, a stable of weapons to go to. You're talking about Trayvon Elliott, 12 receptions so far. Calvin Littles leads the team with 13. In fact, Doyle has thrown touchdowns to 7 different receivers so far this season. So definitely a plethora of weapons to choose from.
Yeah, easily a top 10 offense for the Cougars this year. On the other side, we look at a Palomar team coming in 2-1. Really kind of an unknown, a question mark. They did have a couple of big wins over Victor Valley and Southwestern, but a bad loss to Golden West, who is in the top 25 of the state. And really a game that you can't look past if you're Canyons.
Absolutely. I think that's the key here. Palomar haven't played them in a few years. They do come in with a state ranking, take a long road trip to get to us. And, of course, everyone around the state and around the SCFA is looking at that Canyons-Riverside matchup. But it's important to come in here and take care of business here at home. You don't want to look past anybody. You want to give every opponent the respect they deserve, and I think that's exactly what Coach Isinda and the Cougars are going to do here tonight.
As we should have a good matchup for you, we hope, on hand, and it should be a nice way to celebrate 47 years here at Cougar Stadium. We'll step aside for a few moments. Don't go anywhere. We'll have the opening kickoff when we come back here on SoCalCollegeSports.com and the Cougar Sports Network.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
Well, welcome back into Cougar Stadium. Matt Robinson, Jesse Munoz along with you as we get ready for SCFA football. Canyons and Palomar, the 5th ranked College of the Canyons Cougars and the 21st ranked Palomar Comets. As Palomar won the toss and deferred to the second half, so the Cougars will receive. So we will see the Cougar offense on the field to start the game. And I mean, Jesse, for an offense that sputtered last week, you like that. You get a chance to get the ball early on and see what you can do right away.
Absolutely. You know, Matt, you say sputtered, and that's just because we weren't used to the
We
offensive
didn't put the numbers
showcase
up that we're used
that
to.
we saw. But I will point out one bright point for the offense, even with that sputter. Ty Morrison came in and booted 5 field goals to help put the Cougars over the top. You know, coming into tonight, he leads the state in points with 37, field goals made with 11 attempts. He's also 13 of 14 on PAT. So again, you know, we've talked about in years past with the Tanner Brown, another weapon for the Cougars to have to be able to trot out there and get points on the board. That's huge.
And that's what I was going to mention is no Tanner Brown, and he was a guy that if you had anything within a 50-yard range, he could knock it down. And Ty Morrison certainly showing to be a guy that's capable of doing the same thing. The freshman out of Valencia High School, so absolutely right. Another weapon. As we take a look, we wait on Palomar to kick this one off, as Landon Ogles will kick off for the Comets. For the Cougars, back to receive, it looks like it's Calvin Littles and I want to say Zion Slade back there as well. I'm trying to catch the other number. He's standing a little too sideways for me to be able to figure it out. I think it's an 88. Yes, it is. Zion Slade back to receive as well. So a little change up from Coach Iacenta as kickoff is towards Slade, and he'll feel it 12 yards deep, and he's going to bring it out of the end zone. 12 yards deep, 8 yards deep, sorry. Stays on his feet, but only gets back to the 5-yard line. And so a tough start for the Cougars. Maybe you would like to see Slade leave that one in the end zone, but it'll be a long field here for Canyons. And it should be Tuni Aikahiifu, I believe, to lead the Cougars out onto the field.
Yeah, Matt, I think he must have just seen something he liked, excited to get the game going, maybe thought he could make a break for it. But, you know, regardless, Cougars backed up a little bit here. It'll be interesting to see how they come out.
As it will be Tooney to come out onto the field, the sophomore, out of Paraclete up in Lancaster, California. 6 of 12 for 97 yards and a touchdown on the year. As it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cougs from their own 9-yard line here to open up the ball game. As Tooney to throw, will roll to his left immediately, looking downfield, will dump it off to Littles. And he maybe gets a yard or 2 as the clock will continue to roll. It should be 2nd down at about 9. So call it a gain of 2 as they get to the 11-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 8 here as Cougars back up to the line early, and a flag on the far side of the field, and I believe it's going to be false start against the Cougars.
Well, not like what you like to see here, already backed up. You don't want to go any further to your own goal line, but again, I think the Cougars' new man under center, trotting out here, still trying to find their composure.
So they've got to get to the 19. They're back on their own 7-yard line, it looks like, so about 13 yards, 12 yards, we'll say halfway between, as Tooney will throw here on 2nd down, has a man downfield caught, and that's good enough for a Cougar 1st down.
And that was going to be number 6, Tim Wiggins, just a basic crossing route, comes over here, Tooney's able to find him, move the chains, and get going.
So good second throw for Tooney as you take another look, and you want to see that early on from Tooney here to kind of throw the football a little bit, get himself a little comfortable, and he's a guy in high school that threw the ball quite a bit, threw for over 5,500 yards up at Paraclete.
Absolutely, you know, that's 2 quick receptions under his belt, move the chains already, put that penalty behind you, get back to work.
As the Cougars delay, and we'll get reset here. As one in the backfield with Aikahiifu, he'll step back, a 3-step drop, will roll out to his right, wants a big one downfield, and it's just over the head of Wiggins, was looking for him downfield. Looked like he was wide open, Jesse.
Yeah, he was open. I think there may have been a confusion on the route. Might have been looking for Wiggins to just go ahead and streak up the sideline there a bit. Either way, you like the arm strength there from your quarterback. Throwing on the run just wasn't there.
So just a little over a minute and a half into this first quarter, and it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Cougs from their own 21-yard line. So it looks like it's Mugunda in the backfield with Aikahifu. Actually, it's Zool, and he'll get the carry this time. Right up the middle, drop the football.
Yeah, that ball popped out.
It's a turnover on COC as Palomar gets the fumble recovery, and they'll get a short field to start.
Matt, you're going to see here, I think it was just one of those perfectly placed hits. You're going to see him come in on the side, helmet right on the ball, and boom, it's out. And it's just a fight for it after that. Comets quick to pounce, and they're going to be in good field position here.
So it's Palomar with the football. They'll start on the Cougar 24-yard line. And you're going to press this defense into service real fast here for COC. As Zeke Payne under center, or back of center for Palomar. As he'll take the snap, wants to throw, throws to the outside. Brandon Johnson on the catch, will gain a couple of yards. Gets to the 19-yard line, it'll bring up 2nd down.
Good job by Adu holding on, wrapping up and making that takedown. That gets away from that tackle. He's got some room in front of him.
So they get about half the sticks here. Should be 2nd down and about 5. Johnson has a reception now in every game this year for Palomar, as he's been one of the most targeted players for Zeke Payne. It was a bad snap. He had to knock it down. He's just going to tuck it and run. And a flag, and that should be a holding penalty against Palomar, as it's right in that area on the outside.
Yeah, definite hold. You're going to see they got number 95, Reggie Jones. You watch right here on the end, the tackle just, you can see the jersey being pulled, and that's where the flag came.
So a good break for the Cougars. It'll back Palomar up, leave them 2nd down. And no, it'll keep it at 2nd down, moving back 10 yards. So again, the defense, and really there was a broken play from Palomar that time as the snap was over the head of Payne.
Yeah, I feel like if you're the Comets, you're okay with that. That play could have been a lot worse, especially when you're trying to take advantage of a Cougar miscue.
It's Jude Steff in the center. And that's kind of been the thing for Palomar this year. The offense, when it's there, has been very good, but we saw against Golden West, they struggled just 3 points. Is that one going to be a handoff running right through the middle? And he runs over a couple of tackles. Is Tawi Walker trying to head to the end zone, and he'll have enough for a Palomar 1st down.
Big, strong run there. Hit a couple times. I think, let's see who was first to get him. That was big Jonathan Thomas. And then he bounced off Radenberg and just bounced it outside. Good run. Cougars backs to the goal line here.
And you're not going to see Jonathan Thomas get run over very often. So if you were somebody looking for that, you might want to mark that one down, because Thomas is usually a guy that'll stop running backs flat in their tracks. So a good run from Walker, who's been their most utilized weapon out of the backfield this year. 53 carries for 274 yards coming into the football game. And it's 1st and goal here for Palomar. They'll hand off to Walker again, tries to go right up the middle, bounces off a couple of tackles, still on his feet, and he gets back to the original line of scrimmage and maybe a yard or 2 more. So it'll be 2nd down and goal from about the 5.
Walker so far not doing any walking. Look at it, hits the hole, not there, bounces right back out like a bowling ball in there, finally gets taken down. He's running with some intensity tonight, Matt.
And it seems like the Cougs are there, just not wrapping up quite as well. And facing a big back, I mean, Walker 5'10", 215 is what he's listed at. And he certainly looks a little bit larger in the backfield.
You know, Matt, I want to say on a couple of those, specifically the Jonathan Thomas, just came in too high, weren't low, didn't get the leverage, shoot the hips and take them down. And that's what will happen.
As it'll be 2nd down and goal from the 5. They want to throw a corner route to the end zone, and that's just thrown out of the back of the end zone. So it'll bring up 3rd down. As it looked like it was Dre Falls on the cover on the outside there.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Did a great job of just kind of blocking the route, getting in front of the receiver, limiting his his path down the field, and sometimes that's good enough.
As the target was Dennis Garrison off the far side. It'll bring up 3rd down and goal from the 5. Palomar going to look back to the sideline and change the play a little bit here as the Cougars trying to hold them to just 3 if they can.
Huge play right here.
As Palomar to throw, Payne wants to step up, pumped it first, gets hit by a trio of Cougars and stopped in his tracks, maybe got a yard or 2, and then a late flag, and it's going to give Palomar a 1st down.
Now, that's unfortunate. That was close. I think he probably had enough for the 1st down, but it was going to be a close mark.
Now it's 3rd and goal.
And there it is. Yeah, a little unnecessary there.
As it was Vradenberg a little late on the hit, and it was. You stopped him, you got it to 4th and goal, and now there's some jawing right near where the ball is marked, and it's going to mark it on the 2.5-yard line here. So it'll be 1st and goal from there for Palomar, and a fresh set of downs to work. Trying to punch one in here early on after the fumble from Cyrus Zool. As they want to run with Walker right up the middle. He pushes the pile back. Can he get to the end zone? Play is still going, and finally the far official says yes, he's in. It was just a battle for it the whole way, and Walker's going to get into the end zone for Palomar for the touchdown.
Again, Matt, looked like contact. It looked like the Cougar defenders got to him, just weren't able to hold him out of the goal end zone. We're going to see right here, stacked front. Again, hit right there and just, wasn't able to take him down.
Looks like it was DeJour Dixon that had first contact. Cougars thought they had made the stop. As it'll be Ogles on to try the point after. He has been perfect so far this year, or actually 6 of 7 so far this year, the left-footed kicker. And they'll fake it here, running, trying to put up a 2-point conversion, thrown into the back of the end zone and swatted away by Canyons.
I want to say that was Dean Miller that got the hand up there. But Matt, Cougars find themselves in an unusual set of circumstances, playing from behind. I believe that's the first time this season. The offense is going to take the field with a disadvantage. Nice job knocking that down, keep them to 6. But Cougars will certainly look to establish a rhythm, limit the penalties, and get back to work out there.
So, it's a start that you weren't quite expecting if you were Canyons. A fumble deep in your own end leads to a Palomar touchdown. They only get 6 out of it, so you'll take that as you limit them on the fake. And that's an interesting play call from Palomar here early from head coach Joe Early, trying to maybe establish something and say, we're not afraid, we're going to go for extra.
Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, the snap came in a little high. You wonder if that was a fire play where they just tried to make the most of it. Either way, Cougars happy with that result with the 6. And like I said, try and get a spark here on special teams and then trot the offense back out.
And maybe how much of it was the return, too, to start the game, as the Cougars now have Elliott and Gilmore back there standing at about the goal line to return this one. So you go with maybe your B return unit on the first kickoff, and now you say, well, we need 7, so we're going with our 2 best here. And these 2 have really been the 2 best. Elliott so far this year, 67 yards on 2 returns. Gilmore, 75 on 2 returns. As this one going to go out of the back of the end zone, so the Cougars will start on their own 25-yard line, 1st and 10 after the touchback. And Jesse coming in now after the fumble, trailing 6. What do you want to see from the Cougars on this now, their second drive of the ballgame?
I don't think it's time to panic. I don't think you change your approach. I think you just go out there and do a better job of executing. We got the couple of completions under our belt. You were able to move the chains once. The penalty was unfortunate. The fumble was even more unfortunate. But again, I think you stay with your game plan. You go back out there, settle things down. Again, this is a position the Cougars haven't played in. You want to see how they react, and you go from there.
And this is something Ted talks about all the time, Coach Iacenda, about we got to worry about ourselves, not about anybody else. Let's go out there and execute our game, and we'll be fine. as they'll go here on first down with a run right back to Cyrus Zool, and this time he plunges forward for 9 yards, and it'll bring up second down and short.
No, I really like to see that. Go immediately right back to Cyrus Zool. He fumbled. You know he's probably feeling a little down on himself. But right here, hits the hole, pulling guard, leading the way. Just gets up there. That's a nice run. 2nd and 2. Hey, that's manageable. That's what you like to see on first down.
So we'll go here on second down, and we'll call it 2.
Checking the sideline, I wouldn't be surprised if they take a shot here.
As Canyons decides to keep it on the ground with Zool once again, and he'll get enough for a first down.
And now 2 back-to-back runs, running with some determination there. Again, nice lead block by number 65, right up into the hole. That's a good job by Justice Spates.
So go 1st and 10. Cougars already up to their own 42-yard line. They come out with 4 wide here. Tooney in the backfield. Zool stays in there. As the near side man is Tyquan Gilmore. Trey Elliott, the inside slot receiver, to his right. As Zool switches sides, Tooney to throw. Will have to run out of the pocket. Throws it low, and it's incomplete. Was trying to get it over to TQ Gilmore on the near side. Just could not get it to him.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see the rush here right up the middle. Maybe.
It seems to me early on here, Ikahifu not afraid to leave the pocket quickly, but maybe not getting quite the amount of time that he would hope for and expect. As we'll go here on 2nd and 10. Ikahifu in the backfield, about 10 steps back. They'll give to Zool. He's going to get the edge, has plenty of room across the 50, inside the 40, tried to hurdle a man and got knocked out of bounds. But another Cougar first down on a very good run from Cyrus Zool all the way up to the Palomar 41-yard line.
A nice effort finishing the run here all the way to the end. That's the type of thing you see on Sundays, trying to leap the defender. Glad to see him bounce back up there. But again, I don't know if we saw it, but TQ Gilmore on the outside with a nice block, able to get that outside lane going.
Ricky Davis Jr., the man that knocked Zool out of play. As we'll go on 1st and 10 from the Palomar 41. Good chunk there from Zool. Has 3 wide to the far side. 6 seconds on the play clock here for Canyons. As they'll hold this time on a option run, and Ikahifu right up the middle got run into by one of the Palomar defenders. They didn't see who was in on first contact. Looked like it might have been Vega Saioli. And he was definitely the first one on contact, but a good run from Tooney.
Yeah, Cougars electing to keep the ball on the ground here. That's something we haven't seen yet.
No, it's been an aerial attack.
Yeah, as far as establishing the run game, Coach Ted Isenda looks committed to it right here on this series.
As Ikahifu the throw here on 2nd and 2. He wants a big one downfield, looking for Elliott downfield, Gilmore downfield, and it's knocked away. Good job by the Palomar defender on the near side.
You're going to see Gilmore here come back to the ball a little bit, try and make a play on it. Just wasn't there, but Matt, like you said, you establish the run game, and then boom, right there you go over the top, take a shot at it here, and that's what that allows you to do, is kind of just variate your offense a little bit.
It's Josh Perez on the breakup on the near side. And so we'll see what the Cougars decide to do here on 3rd and 2. Tony will look at the sidelines as Canyon wants to change the play. As David Banks, the offensive coordinator down there, signaling as they'll give to Zool, and he's met in the backfield, scouted well by Palomar, and it'll bring up 4th down. Loss of about 2 for Zool.
Yeah, the comments right there to meet him. It didn't matter the backfield shift. It looked like you said, maybe knew what was coming there, what to expect.
Scioli and Davis Jr., the first 2 there. And the Cougs look like they're going to go for it here on 4th down and about 4 from the Palomar 34-yard line.
Yeah, this is certainly a manageable down. Not quite in Ty Morrison's range yet, so why not? Let's go for it.
Ika Hifu in the backfield wants to throw here. Has to step up as he's got pressure. Will tuck it and run. Will he get enough for the first down? Yes. As he's across the marker into the 25-yard line of Palomar. Good call by the Cougars quarterback Tuni Ika Hifu to tuck it and just go.
Yeah, that's a nice job moving the chains. You're going to see him kind of just make the most of it. Doesn't have that quick first step like a Colton Doyle does, but certainly enough to get upfield and make plays, move the chains.
Run game paying dividends so far here early. It's been mostly on the ground for Canyons as they'll pitch here to Cyrus Sewell. Wants to get the edge, met by Ricky Davis Jr. and brought down. But he gets a nice little chunk, maybe 3-4 yards, and it's a battle for those 3 or 4 yards. We'll bring up second down at about 7.
Yeah, tough hit there. A couple of guys on him. He had some blockers out in front. Timing-wise, just didn't all come together. But like you said, still a positive result. Keeps the down and distance manageable.
So we'll say 2nd and 7 from the Palomar 22-yard line. Cougars moving the ball nicely here. They've taken quite a big chunk off after giving up the fumble and the touchdown to the Comets. Canyons trying to work. Ika Hifu to throw. Will dump it on the inside, and Zool hit hard right at the initial line of scrimmage. Nowhere for him to go, as it was Khalid Walker that knocked him down.
And again, the Comets doing a great job either having seen these types of plays on film or just fighting through the blocking and being there. Like, you know, as soon as Zool ball touches his hands, the defender's there. So that's a tremendous job.
It's really an unabated shot as Walker just read it very, very well. And Walker, a guy, 7 solo tackles, 9 total on the year, and a sack versus Southwestern in week 3. 15 total tackles on the year. He had 7 and 9 against Southwestern.
And
in
Zool's
week 3.
taken a couple hits here now, but continues to run hard. They haven't taken him out yet.
3rd down and 9. Ika Hifu to throw right over the middle, pass caught. As he was right at the numbers, and he hits Trey Elliott for the first down.
Again, one of those dependable receivers among the team leaders in receptions, and there he was right when you needed him most. Move the chains, come back up to the line, and now you're in striking distance here. Whole playbook's open. Cougars with a little bit of momentum have sustained this drive here, controlling the clock.
1st and goal from the 10 here for Canyons as Ika Hifu looks back. They call out who the mic is in the middle of the field, and I believe they're saying it's Walker as he was jumping. As they're going to throw here. Ika Hifu onto the outside, was looking for Tim Wiggins, I believe, on the outside. Just couldn't find him. It was a little too low.
Little low, and the defender was close enough to be able to make a play on the ball. Good look, though. Tim Wiggins, one of those guys that's, right in that stable.
I think the throw, it had been out in front of him. He would have beaten him as Wiggins beat Josh
Yeah,
Fletcher
Wiggins
off the
definitely
edge.
had a step. You wonder if he was trying to protect him. You saw that safety coming over. Maybe just give him a chance to make the ball or catch the ball and not take that hit. Either way, it didn't work out.
So 2nd and goal from the 10-yard line. Zool still in there as the lone back. They'll give this time on the dive play, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. That's a little bit of a counter from Zool, and he just didn't have any room to run as Palomar doing a good job scouting it here early on.
But again, I like it sticking with Zool, whether that's his series or his quarter, being able to go back to him, letting these running backs get into a rhythm. Again, similar to the receivers, you have so much talent and so many different options. A lot of times these guys only get couple 2-3 carries, and then it's on to the next one. So to be able to stick with Zool, I think will bode well as we get into this game.
3 wide on the near side as Ika Hifu to throw. Wants to dump it off. Has Zool out of the backfield into the end zone for a Cougar touchdown.
And there it was. Like I said, went right back to the guy of the drive, Cyrus Zool. I believe that's his first receiving touchdown of the year. And just wide open in space. Gets it in there. Nice job, Cougars.
And it's really, really good vision from Tooney that time. Knows he has pressure coming right in his face off the edge and just dumps it off as it was Sid Weddington coming off the corner to get him. And he just read it really well, and the Cougars have tied the game at 6 pending the point after touch here from Morrison. It's a low one, but it's a line drive that's through. And Canyons gets on the board in their 2nd drive, and they have a 1-point lead, 7-6.
No, and again, like I said, don't want to beat a dead horse, but, continuing to go back to Cyrus Zool. He's averaging 4.9 yards a pop here tonight, 34 yards so far here in this first quarter. He's been the only ball carrier other than the quarterback, so it will be interesting to see how that continues, if that trend holds, or if the Cougars, like I said, turn to that stable and get a couple more playmakers involved.
And it's really interesting that last drive from Canyons started from their own 25-yard line at 10:22, and they took it all the way down to 3:44. So a sustained drive, almost 7 minutes off the game clock, and the Cougars with a 1-point lead.
And that's exactly what you want. You come back out, you regain the momentum, you collect your composure, you slow down the pace of the game, put yourselves back in a spot that you're more familiar with now here, playing with the lead, as slight as it is, the 1 point. Put the defense back out there, see what they can do. Obviously have had success throughout the early goings of this season. I think, back against the wall, that turnover there, weren't really expecting to come out like that. Maybe not the response you wanted, but I know Coach Dan Corbett and his staff are down there coaching it up, telling them get low, make the tackles, wrap up. I think that's been the biggest difference maker for Palomar, is being able to break those tackles, progress up the field, a short field as it was, but again, lots to look forward to here as we get going.
Garner and Pye back deep to receive. It's a short kick from the Cougars that'll bounce at about the 20-yard line. Garner has to pick it up. He's going to reverse his field, runs back inside of his own 15, still on his feet, and he's going to get run out of bounds at the 20-yard line. So interesting there is wasn't Ty Morrison in on the kickoff, I don't believe.
Well, and two, on that coverage, a good job of pursuing, taking the angle, driving them out to the sideline. And like you said, being able to run him out, I think that was Dre Falls that eventually pushed him out of bounds. So let's see here. Let's see how the Cougars respond. It'll be interesting to see how Palomar comes back out. Run game was certainly working for them. Would not be surprised if they kind of try and give the Cougars some of their own medicine, control the clock, run the ball, and grind this game out.
3:36 to go here in the first quarter, as Payne with 5 wide out of the set here will go. Wants to throw to the outside. Pass caught. As it was,
I want to say that was a do there first, went low, and then he had some help on the sideline.
it was Tawny Walker out of the backfield.
I was going to say Cole Bullock also in there on the tackle out of Sierra Canyon.
It's interesting that Walker's been the most used here, even all the receivers-wise for Palomar, as he's not been a guy that's really caught many passes out of the backfield this year, but getting all the work as they go 5 wide again, over the middle, that time to the tight end, and that one's dropped. As it was Cassidy trying to make the catch. It was a little bit of a high throw, and the Cougars had a bunch of bodies in there to knock it out.
Well, and one big one, Jonathan Thomas right there in coverage, right across the middle. Again, perfectly timed, and again, 29 in on the play. Cole Bullock, we just called his name a moment ago. So again, a nice coverage brings up the 3rd down. Love to get off the field right here and give it back to the offense.
It's a really good play by JT, too, especially early on after getting run over by Walker, just to come back and say, you know what, it's not going to faze me. I'm going to keep playing my game. And he shows why he's one of the very best for the Cougs this year. Is Payne going to tuck it and run. Has to get to the 30-yard line and does, as the Cougs can't wrap him up on the outside, and he's got enough for the first down, as it was, I believe, Falls on the outside again, trying to make the tackle.
Falls, and then Madison came in to clean it up and push him out of bounds. But regardless, first down, able to get just enough. And the Cougars will have to go back to work here, starting over. Beautiful night here at Cougar Stadium.
Absolutely. 85 degrees at first kick, if we didn't say that already. And it's been very nice so far. A little warm in the booth for us, but, we deal. We go on. Got to get some air conditioning in here, Jesse. Work on that, okay? There's another run. Flag way in the backfield, though, and that one is in the area of a hold. And I think that's going to negate another good run from Twy Walker.
Yeah, let's see if we can pinpoint where the hold was. I saw Dean Miller complaining, and yep, there he was, just got tackled from behind.
It was Jonas Woods they're going to get it on.
Now, I know you tell the O-lineman to wash down, but that's usually when you're in front and control, not coming off the hip. So a good call there by the official.
I think it's an easy call for the officials that time. Anytime you tackle a defender coming in towards the running back, it's pretty much, we can call that one. That one's easy.
And back to your point about the AC, that is on the project
I
list.
know it is. I'm giving you a hard time.
Here, year 7 of the project list, but you got to have a dream.
As we go back to work here, 1st and 20 now, as that backs up Palomar inside their own 25-yard line. 2 receivers out to the near side. Garner is the wide man. Has Walker in the backfield with Payne. He'll hand off to Walker this time, who stays on his feet, kind of just bounces around, gets to the outside, and picks up a few. We'll say 5 yards and maybe 6 yards, so it'll bring up second down and about 14.
Now, look, you see Vradenberger out here shoot the gap, cause the buildup. Walker, again, continues to bounce things out, showing great field vision when it's not there up the middle or how the play was drawn up. He'll do whatever, just keeps his feet moving and bounces it outside.
He'll get a break here as Richardson comes in to take over for him. 2 wide out to the far side as they change everything around. Garner out to the far side. And it's Tajay Brooks on the near side, the wide out for Palomar. Cougars in that dime defense that they like to stay in with Dean Corbett as a throw over the middle to the tight end. And it picks up about 6 yards, we'll say, and it should be about 3rd and 8 here as it was Cassidy on the catch.
I want to say that's the same play we saw a couple snaps ago, just flipped it, and again, Jonathan Thomas there on the stop.
Cassidy might as well be a lineman, 6'3", 260. It's a big body as a tight end to take down. As we'll go here on 3rd and 8 for Palomar from their own 36, inside of 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 3 wide out to the far side for Payne. As he wants to throw, needs 8, under duress, and will be brought down in the backfield. Henry Ikahihifu, the first one to make contact, and another sack for the Cougars.
Ikahihifu, sack number 5 on the year, tied for number 2 in the state coming into the game. And he is a tremendous athlete out there, making a lot of big plays for the Cougars so far this year.
Palomar will have to kick this one away as it's 4th and 14, but they'll do it after the end of the first quarter. 7-6 Cougars, 15 minutes in the book. So we'll take a break. Second quarter action when we come back here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium. 7-6 Canyons as we get ready to start the second quarter. Palomar to punt it away as Ogles will kick this one. Cougars with a couple of bodies back right about their own 30-yard line. Is that one blocked by Canyons? It'll bounce back at the Palomar 5, and it's picked up right there by Ogles, but it's going to be Cougar football inside the 5 on the 4-yard line of Palomar.
And Matt, let's watch and see exactly what happened. Both Cougars looked stunned like they didn't feel the block. I wonder if he kicked it into his own player.
I think he kicked it into Joshua Madison's helmet, to be quite honest. Here. Oh, no, he kicked it into his own guy. You're right.
Both Cougars looked around surprised that the ball was bouncing. Either way, you take that result.
It looked like it hit Khalid Walker in the backfield, and that's unfortunate for Palomar, and it's a great break for Canyons here, as they'll have an extremely short field, 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. And the Canyons will come out in a big back set here with Mugunda in the backfield and a fullback in there to block for him as well. Actually, it's Haynes in the backfield with Mugunda as the fullback. The give is to Haynes, and he gets down to the 1-yard line. It'll bring 2nd down and goal from there.
Moises Haynes looking to pop this one in the eye. Like you said, just short. But I think this could be his drive. Certainly the short yardage back here so far. And this is where you call on the big boys up front.
as they stay in that big back set, and they'll just sneak it this time. And they say he got in, and Ika Hihifu will get credit for the touchdown as the Cougars put another one on the board.
Like I said, you line the big boys up out front, you get that first push, but then also watch your tailback come up here and aid, your fullback, aid the pile, so to speak. Cougars will take it.
And you're absolutely right, they'll take it as Ika Hihifu into the end zone for the first time this year on the ground, and now has some positive yardage running. He had 8 runs for -3 yards coming into this game, but has done a nice job so far today. Puts it in the end zone. Morrison's extra point is up and good, and just like that, Canyons has punched a couple of touchdowns in on back-to-back drives and have a 14-6 lead.
Absolutely, you get the spark on special teams. You make the most of that. Get the run game going. The drive before, Cougars starting to click here. Just getting into the second quarter, so a lot of ball game left. Interested to see how Palomar now responds. Who they've had some success offensively. A couple things have stalled, but again, by no means has this been the defensive showcase that we saw from the Cougars last week down at Fullerton.
At least not yet.
Not yet. So far, this is a good one, Matt.
Yep. And it was Cole Bullock in there as the fullback, by the way. I was trying to figure out who it was. It's one of the defenders for the Cougars, Cole Bullock, who plays in the linebacker position. He just slotted in like a fullback, like it was no big deal, really.
Love to see it. One of those goal line jumbo or,
You see it with the Bucks with their big, I can't think of his name right now, Tampa Bay in the NFL. They do it all the time with one of their defensive linemen.
Bring them in. You want to get those big bodies. Like I said,
we actually saw it last year here with the Cougars, or in
Yes,
2019
we
with the
did.
Cougars a bunch of times.
We had a big formation that would come in and close out games. But again,
Aren't you
nice
calling it the jumbo?
jumbo package. But happy to employ that when you need to early on in the first half.
As again, the Cougars will kick this one short. A little change on the kickoffs this week as that one fielded at about the 15-yard line. Lots of room to go for Pye, and he's got a good return all the way out across the 35, close to the 40-yard line. As it's interesting, the Cougars electing to go with Victor Omorodian as the kickoff man here today. That's a little bit of a change, a different wrinkle for Ted Iacenda.
Yeah, coming into this week, Ty Morrison had handled all of the kicking duties, kickoffs, PATs, field goals, and even punts. So, again, I don't know if you're trying to get other people involved. Maybe they saw something in practice.
Yeah, maybe
that worked out for them.
I mean, Omorodian, a guy that plays defensive back, he's a freshman, clearly has the ability to kick the ball down the field, and it gives you one extra tackler out there. So maybe a change, something they're working on for future weeks. As we'll see the defense again here for the Cougars. On first down from the 38-yard line is this one run right back up the middle and nowhere to go for Walker. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. We'll call it 2nd and 10.
I think there was a couple guys there, but I want to say 41, Marcus Fleming's the one that finished it off.
Tough to see.
Yeah.
No, it might have been Juju Salazar.
Salazar got him around the ankles. Salazar, another guy with a big play last week, looking for more of the same here tonight.
As Walker stays in the backfield. As it's interesting that Palomar went away from him a little bit late in that last drive. Maybe he was just a little bit tired as he's run quite a bit as they'll throw here on second down. That ball is out on the ground, and the Cougars will pick it up, I believe, as it is Cougar football. Coming out of the pile with it for Canyons is Brian Snoke.
Brian Snoke, Supreme Leader Snoke out there with the big play. And I want to say, is that big Jonathan Thomas
That's
there?
JT again.
Number 5, making his mark on this game. They keep trying that tight end or right over the middle in his zone. That's 3 times they've run similar plays there. Jonathan Thomas been there to stop all 3 of them. Definitely bouncing back after that first quarter nonstop, but he was there. Love to see it out of that young man.
Yeah, absolutely has not phased him one bit, as that's a big play of forced fumble from Jonathan Thomas, as the pass was caught by Garrison, and he looked like he was trying to dive down, and Thomas just got the right arm in and punched it out. So we'll go on first down here for the Cougars, as it looks like they go back to Cyrus Zool. He'll try and dive right up the middle on a counter play. Maybe picks up 2 yards. It'll bring up second down at about 8.
So again, the Cougars seizing the momentum, never really let it go. Off the field a couple plays and the offense coming right back out. Again, this defensive unit, sacks, pressures, and turnovers has been the key. Coach Dan Corbett doing a great job getting his guys all involved out there, and they've responded by making plays.
Too wide out to the far side. Lone man on the near side is TQ Gilmore. They have Elliott and Hunt on the far side. Is Ika Heath, who's going to hold it here on an option, and he's brought down to the backfield. Not much room for him to work, loses a yard.
No, you saw Cole Smith pulling around, and the defender just didn't cooperate with that play call, was there to make the stop.
As it was Luke Manos that made the stop. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 9 here for the Cougars on the Palomar 38, and you hate to waste good field position.
Took the words right out of my mouth. It's very important to move the chains here, not squander this opportunity here.
As Cal Littles comes back in here. Hunt, the wide man on the far side. Gilmar, the lone man on the near side, as they'll throw a screen pass to Littles. Has some room, but he's only going to get about half the chains, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Like you said, he was there, sure hands. Calvin Little leads the team in receptions. Just wasn't enough right there. But 4th down doesn't look like the offense is going anywhere.
And this was right about the spot they went for it on their their second drive, excuse me.
And why not? Defense is playing well. Of course, you want to get it, not give Palomar the opportunity, but we'll see.
It's Tooney to throw here. Has time, wants to throw to the outside, and he just had too much zip on it. And it's going to be a turnover on downs, as he had TQ Gilmore on the near side over the middle and just couldn't find him. And now it looks like Cyrus Zool running off the field and one of the Palomar defenders chasing him.
Yeah, I think some extracurricular shenanigans down there. I don't know what Cyrus Zool was doing, but the Palomar defender was definitely not happy.
And good job by the officials to come over and stop Ricky Davis from going into the Canyons bench. As absolutely, you don't know what started it, who did what, but at that point, once you've got an opposing player running towards the other team's bench, you want to get over there. So I credit them, good job. And Palomar gets a turnover on downs. Tough one for the Cougars with good field position. You put the defense right back to work. There's Payne in the backfield still. They'll put a man in motion. They'll stop him up and run with Walker here. He's trying to get the edge, and the Cougars just going to force him around to the outside, as it was Horton, I think, pushing him out that time.
Now, again, we've said it a couple times, this Cougar defense out there, known for making plays, known for making the big stops. A couple weeks ago, we talked about the bend, don't break. Certainly have the momentum here tonight. It's important to keep it, especially after that last drive stalled out.
We'll go on second, and they'll call it 9 as they say got a yard. Payne wants to throw, throws over the middle. Pass is caught as it was Alex Hill, and he gets all the way out to midfield. Good enough for a Palomar 1st down.
Just something I noted on that last play. Look at 91 off the edge, just pushing his man back almost into the quarterback. That's going to be DeJour Dixon getting a good push up there. That continues throughout the night. That's going to yield positive results, I'll tell you that.
And really for DeJour at that time, if he had a little bit better coverage on the outside, might have been able to get to Payne. And so far, the Cougars really, other than the sack from Micah Heath, who have not been able to put a lot of pressure on Zeke Payne, the offensive line for Palomar doing a good job here early on, protecting their quarterback as he'll throw to the outside. Great catch falling down on the outside from Garrison, and he gets about half the chains for 5 yards.
You said it, Matt. The pressure, I feel like, has been there, just not translating into sacks, not translating into what the Cougars wanted. But you know, if you're Palomar, looking on tape, you've seen the tremendous pass rush the last 3 weeks. You got to think that that's something that their coaching staff keyed on this week. If you do nothing else, you got to protect the quarterback. So far, doing a pretty good job.
Call it 2nd down, and they'll say 6 as he only got 4 yards. Payne to throw, looking to the outside again. That one caught. And it was Pye on the outside to make the catch, but I'm not sure he got any yardage that time. Maybe 1, and they'll give him 1.
Yeah, I was going to say, you definitely made the completion, but
Salazar was out there. Looked like Alan Smith was out there as well defensively, so it'll bring up 3rd and 5 here for Palomar, as they need to get right to the Cougar 40-yard line.
Another big down here for both sides.
Payne will hand it off. Walker with a big hole right through the middle. Rumbles down across the 40 to the 38-yard line. Good enough for a Palomar first down.
And again, that kid runs hard. I don't know who he quite reminds me of yet, but he is a bowling ball style running back out there. That time the hole was there.
Well, and he's shown the smarts too as well. He's shown a little bit of the ability to
bounce it out or go up the middle. He's been doing it all so far.
As we'll go 1st and 10 from the Cougar 38. Palomar trying to march down, trailing by 8 as it's 14-6 Canyons. After a pair of touchdowns on back-to-back drives, Cougars are racing an opening drive fumble as this one thrown along the outside, and that's well over the head of Garrison. And actually it was Brockbank, the intended receiver, on the outside. And maybe that's been the one knock on Payne that Palomar has seen throughout the year, is that ability to throw the deep ball. Has not quite had it at all times.
Yeah, definitely. And you see the coverage there was with him. Step for step, a little bit of an opening, but the ball, the connection just wasn't there.
So far this year for Payne, just 415 yards through the air. 49 of 98 with 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And really hasn't had a long pass this year over 30 yards. So, you know, it's kind of been all short plays. And when you have the likes of Walker back there as well, you are afforded that option. So throw to the outside. And a good job coming up to make a tackle was Christopher, I believe, on the near side. No, actually, I will take that back. It was Mason James.
Mason James, like you said, good job just getting enough to bring him down.
Got just enough of Tajay Brooks. And it brings up 3rd down and 6. Palomar taking a lot of time off the clock here on this drive. As they're taking their time getting back up to the line of scrimmage. 10 on the play clock as they'll send a man in motion. It's Alex Hill. Payne had a little trouble with the snap, now wants to throw, and he's hit right as he throws, and that causes the ball to come out high. And it was Henry Aikahifu in the backfield to knock him down.
You know, once again, I said it's not translating into sacks, but it's definitely translating into pressures and hits.
Right up the middle.
That is not fun. You take a couple more of those, and you can see the big number 45 out there starting to get excited, starting to get hyped up.
And he's really kind of been, so far this year, the emotional leader for the Cougars on defense. Is Palomar going to go for it here on 4th and 6 from the Cougar 34? Payne to throw. Goes over the middle. That one's swatted out of the air. And it was Reggie Jones that got his big left hand on it.
You said it, Matt. Again, the pass rush there, the pressure up the front. Wait a second on the snap. It just comes right up the middle, gets that big old paw up there, just like you said. That's a big play for the Cougars. Turning the ball over with healthy field position.
And really, it's an impressive play from Jones as well, because he had to reach back to make that play with his left hand. He was running off to his right a little bit through a double block.
And one of those big old athletes up there getting upfield, using that quickness and power combination, and then all of a sudden you got to stop and make a swat like that. It's a good heads-up play.
Yeah, and he's a big guy, like you said, 6'2", 271. And it gives the Cougars a good starting position here on their own 34-yard line, 1st and 10, with 8:04 to go here in the second quarter. Trying to recoup some field position and put some more points on the board here on their 4th drive of this first half. As Aikahifu to throw to the outside, caught by Calvin Littles, up near midfield, good enough for a Cougar first down.
Old Mr. Dependable, number 2, Calvin Littles, Gainesville, Florida, having a mark on this game just as he has the first 3.
13 catches for 118 yards coming in and a touchdown as well. And he's already got a couple of receptions here today. And it's 1st and 10 for the Cougars from their own 48-yard line. And that just shows you the ability of the Cougars on the offensive side to just spread the ball around. And you get a different quarterback in here in Tuni Aikahifu, and he just kind of falls right back into rhythm. This one a screen to Hunt. He's got a block across the 40, inside the 30, beats his man down the sidelines. It's a Cougar touchdown!
Andre Hunt hits the sideline, goes into a second gear, and there's nobody going to catch him after that. A nice job by by our quarterback finding the open man And watch this block right here. Just gets enough of them, bounces it outside. 44 doesn't have a chance. Good angle, but just wasn't there. And here comes the celebration. Big Tim Wiggins there to meet him in the end zone. Nice job, Cougars.
For Hunt, his second touchdown catch of the year, and that is his longest reception of the year, and he's already had 46-yarders. So you talk about a 52-yard pass and run, and the Cougars have pushed the lead now to 21-6 as the extra point is good. So it's a 16-point lead for Canyons as they get another touchdown on the board here with 7:37 to go in the first half.
And Matt, now this is starting to feel familiar. This is what we've become accustomed to see the Cougars in 2021. You get out, you get that big lead, the defense feeds the offense executes from there, and this is what Cougar football has been all about so far. Nice job, nice execution. Let's stick to the game plan and see what happens.
2 plays, 28 seconds. That's all it took, 52 yards. On the last one, they started on their own 34-yard line, so it's a 66-yard drive in 28 seconds. And the high-powered offense showing back up for the Cougars as they lead 21-6.
And, Matt, now we've seen both. We've seen the quick strike, and we've seen the prolonged, sustained drive. I mean, the ability to do both, I mean, come on, does it get any better than that?
Not in my book. So we'll go to work here again. As it'll be Omarodian to kick off here for the Cougars. Pye and Garner both standing back at about their own 10-yard line. As it's going to be Pye to pick it up right at the 10. Wants to run right inside the hash marks. Has plenty of room to go. Gets across the 40, and another really good return for Tyler Pye. And it'll start with good field position for Palomar again at their own 42.
I was going to say the special teams unit, especially the kickoff return unit, has done some things well here tonight. I don't know if they've, again, something they scout and see and plan for, or it's just the circumstance. But they've given Palomar a boost almost every time they've come out. Comets have yet to fully take advantage of it, I would say.
And really, you look on the year with Rance Gardner and Tyler Pye, each with 2 returns. Garner with 40 yards, Pye with 28 coming into the game, but Pye has had a couple of good returns here to give Palomar a couple of good starting field positions as they're on their own 42. 2 backs in the backfield this time, just 2 receivers, as they'll hand off to Walker. Has a man out in front of him to try and block. He's able to pick up maybe 4 yards, and they give him a really generous spot, I think, as they're going to give him about 6. I'm not sure he got all the way up to the 48-yard line. I'm not sure he got past the 45, but they mark it at the 48.
Yeah, we'll see.
He looks like he's
way back.
Yeah.
But that's one of those things you got to respect the call and play from there.
Yep. As it was Richardson out in front of him running as a fullback, and now they just switch sides. So we'll see if they do the same thing to the near side this time. As they'll send the tight end Cassidy in motion. He'll slide into the backfield. Just off the right tackle. They'll hand off to Walker. He stays on that side, bounces off a tackle across the 45-yard line and into the Cougar territory right about to the 40.
Walker again showing tremendous vision, being able to bounce things outside and get north-south from there. Got some help down, looked like the big tight end number 85, helping him matriculate up the field there.
And it's not been speed necessarily, it's just been power. It's just a power run.
Exactly, the strength, to kind of bowling ball off some of these guys, find the openings wherever they may be and get that positive yardage.
As we'll stay in that same set here, this time they'll throw Walker out of the backfield. That one swatted out of the air, an incomplete pass.
That's going to be Vredenberg on the tip there. Hart High School. He's been another one of those guys coming into the game, make a lot of big plays, 11 tackles entering tonight among the team leaders.
And that's just the intelligence, I think, Jesse, right, that Coach Diasend had talked about for this defense between the sophomores that are very dynamic and the freshmen that are really growing up quickly for this team.
Absolutely. A lot of playmakers out there, and, they've all, by virtue of the Cougars' leads this year, everyone's gotten a chance to play. You've seen a couple different packages. Coach Corbett's got his core guys, but everyone's been able to get in there and make plays.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10. They'll give to Walker, and this time he's able to burn the edge and gets about 9. Huge chunk for Walker on 2nd down, and it'll leave Palomar here at 3rd and short.
And I want to say a little bit of misdirection here because I saw one of the Canyons D linemen stand up like he had made the tackle. Right there he gets the fullback, but that's not where the play was. Again, bouncing it outside and up the field. That's something the Cougars are going to have to continue to monitor here tonight.
Pretty good tackle on the outside by Mason James to knock Walker down, and that's one-on-one with Walker so far tonight really has not worked, as it'll be 3rd and 1.
And now Palomar really looking for this, needs this one to sustain the drive, give Cougars a little bit of their own medicine.
As they'll hand off to Walker, he wants to counter back to the other way, and Vredenberg wraps him up, and a pile of Cougars take him down to the turf.
Vredenberg just extended the arm and grabbed a hold and waited for his buddies to get there and finish it off. That's another smart heads-up play, sheds the blocker, and then there he is, and the gang's there to meet him. Nice job.
He had a full grip on the jersey there and was just able to hold on with the fingers. And Palomar, I think, going to elect to kick this one away. I think if your Canyons need to watch for a fake here, is you're right in that territory, right about the 34-yard line of COC. It's 21-6 Cougars. Clock at 4:40 to go here in the first half. We'll see if Palomar can get this one off better than they did last time. And they are going to go with a fake. And they're going to have enough for the first down. And a very good play call from Dan Early, the offensive coordinator, to go for the play fake, and they get it.
Reggie Jones with the stop, but Friends, I don't know if you knew this, Matt Robinson's Psychic Friends Network called that one right out of the bat. And so, again, Palomar getting a boost from their special teams units, able to sustain this drive a little bit longer here as we wrap under the last 4 minutes of the first half.
As it was a little pitch play right into the hands of Khalid Walker, the guy who got hit with the punt the last time. So Walker may be getting a little bit of redemption. As we'll go on 1st and 10 from the Cougars 29. Throw to the outside, hit right as he catches it, was Brockbank on that far side. And he gets half the chains, maybe 5 yards.
Now if you're Canyons, you're looking again for that little bit of bend, don't break. It's been a while. I shouldn't say a while. It's been a couple plays since you've had a positive result for the defense. A big sack or something here would really get this crowd fired up again.
We'll go on 2nd and 5. It's Richardson in the backfield this time. So Payne going to throw, has a big one towards the end zone. Pass caught in the corner by Brockbank, and it is a touchdown for Palomar.
Well, Matt, just a beautiful ball and a nice connection there in the end zone. Perfectly timed route and throw. That's a nice job by the Comets. Got to give it up to them here.
They just beat Alan Smith off the edge, it looked like, and Palomar going to go for 2. It seems. Actually, no, they'll line up for the extra point. As Ogle's on to try, as they've cut it to almost a 1-score game, pending the extra point.
I'm sure the thought of 2 crossed their mind, but at this point of the game, you take the 1.
Snap is down, kick is up, and Ogles pounds it through. And so it's a 1-score game, 8-point lead for the Cougars, 21-13 after a good drive from Palomar. As you take another look at the touchdown pass to Brockbank on the outside.
Again, just a well-timed right in the back of the end zone.
And actually it was Dennis Garrison.
Beat the defender, and the safety wasn't there over the top yet. Hey, Matt, we got a ball game here.
Yes, we do. 8 plays, 58 yards for Palomar as they started on their own 35-yard line, able to push it all the way down. Took a big chunk of time off as well, almost 4 minutes or a little over 4 minutes. And they've gotten it back to a 1-score ball game.
Now really coming up here, a pivotal final 3 minutes of this first half. Now if you're Canyons, you want to get back out there, obviously put some more points on the board. But for Palomar, you just went down the field and scored on a nice pitch and catch. If you can stop the Cougars here, turn the ball over, maybe, leave yourself an opportunity to close out the half.
When they get the ball back at the end of at the start of the second half.
That's what I mean. I mean, we could go into this ball game tied, down one possession. We're seeing a lot of time here. This is going to be an interesting final 3 minutes.
Ogles to kick this one away. Both Elliott and Gilmore standing at the goal line. We'll see who elects to take it if they can. It'll be Trayvon Elliott, and he'll bring it out from about 5 yards deep. Plenty of speed, cuts it back across the field towards the outside, gets outside the numbers across the 30, and a really good return for Trey Elliott as he gets all the way up to the Cougar 31-yard line. And you'll take that, a little extra yardage on the field position.
Definitely, Matt almost had a case of deja vu there. I said, well, he's taking it out that deep, but obviously Trey Elliott saw something I didn't and definitely has the athleticism to back it up. Nice run out there.
I think a little different on the return as well from that first one we saw from Slade is he caught it coming forward where Slade kind of caught it running backwards. Yeah. You know, old baseball terminology. You want to catch it coming forward when you want to throw a runner out at the plate. So as we'll go on 1st and 10, 3:01 to go here in the first half. See if Ika Hihifu and the offense can regain some of their abilities from that last drive they had as they want a big one downfield here, and it's just well over the head of Tim Wiggins down the near sideline.
Well, he put some zip on that one, didn't he? Overthrew Tim Wiggins by at least 5-6 yards.
Yeah, flashing the arm for sure. And it's probably a good thing he did is in coverage deep was Chris Sanchez, and he looked like he had the best position on the football. So we'll bring up 2nd and 10. We'll see if maybe they decide to go back to the ground game here, although you want to strike quick if you can if you're COC.
A little bit of a hold up here.
Well, I think they're waiting on the play clock here as it never stopped and the ball never got set. And they've reset the play clock, and I think that's what the problem was, really, is Ika Hifu to throw, and that one broken up, and a flag coming in on the far side of the field as Elliott was run into before the pass was near him, and they'll call the pass interference, I believe, on Palomar. We'll take another look.
Let's see here. Palomar had their hands up in the air wondering what the call was.
I think the backside jersey from Fletcher tugged Elliott around.
Like I said, that offhand
excuse me, Gilmore around, yeah.
With the swim from the back.
And it's the backside official that makes the call, too. See if we can get a better look on it here. Not really, but it's pass interference. It's going to go against Josh Fletcher.
And if you're Canyons, you're certainly not complaining about that.
No, it gives you a fresh set of downs. It moves the ball up to the 40-yard line. Maybe make it the 41. 1st and 10 with 2:50 to go here in the first half. It's not the 41, it's the 39. Cougars are lined up a yard ahead of the chains, 2 yards ahead of the chains, so we'll reset here. So 1st and 10 here after the penalty. And going to be a false start on Tim Wiggins on the near side. And so you back yourself right back up.
Tim Wiggins a little disappointed himself, but maybe questioning. I don't know. I didn't see it. Was it a flinch and they got him, or?
I think he full jumped.
Did he fully jump?
Yeah, he full jumped.
Well, then definitely the shake was a disappointment. We'll come back and try it again.
And so they'll reset here. Slade and Hunt on the near side, the receivers for the Cougars. I believe you got Gilmore and Elliott on the far side. As Ika Hifu will take the snap, will hand off. Actually, he'll keep it himself. Faked me out, faked everybody on the field out, and he's got enough for a first down. All the way up to the 50-yard line. Yeah, thought he gave it to Moises Haynes.
I'm with you, Matt. My eyes were on Moises following that, and then you see the QB scamper here. Like you said, a little bit of a higher hurdle. He gets around 44, but a nice positive result, and we're at midfield.
Shoestring tackle from Chris Sanchez maybe saves an even bigger gain. As inside 225 here, Hunt, the near side receiver, 3 stacked out to the far side. Gilmore, the wide man on the far side, with Little slotted inside him. As Tooney wants to throw downfield looking for Hunt. Caught over his shoulder at the 20 and into the end zone. A Cougar touchdown. Second one of the game for Andre Hunt.
Now we just saw it on the other side. One of those perfectly timed pitch and catch. And you're going to see this right here if we get the replay. Right over the defender. Hunt streaking down the field. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Right in there between the two defenders, and he's gone.
I mean, there's not much that time Sanchez can do in coverage as Jalen Dye, the corner, gets beat from Hunt.
Yeah, that was a really nice ball. Nice catch. And here we go. Cougars leaving some time on the clock here, but definitely the result that they wanted.
As Morrison's kick is low, but it's good. And so you push the lead back up to 15 here for Canyons on a really good drive, on a quick strike once again from Tuni Aikahifu to Andre Hunt. It was a drive that lasted less than a minute, so 56 seconds, 69 yards, 3 plays, and the Cougars back in the lead by 2 scores.
And so, Matt, you know, looking at the roster here, a couple Paraclete guys hooking up with each other.
Yep.
I feel like they've maybe done that once or twice before.
A couple, 2, 3, 4, you know, maybe. Let me look down the list here. Tuni, you know, probably a lot more than that.
But the reason I bring it up is because you see the timing there. On both of those plays, the timing was, you know, essential to the execution. And that only comes with practice and familiarity.
Well, and how much of that do you credit the offensive coaching staff for knowing that these two guys have familiarity? And Hunt, who's been a guy that's contributed 8 catches, 108 yards coming in, but you know, hey, these two guys really have a connection. Let's go to them a lot.
Absolutely. You took the words right out of my mouth. I think that's something that you know coming into the week of practice and something that you definitely want to focus on and fine-tune coming into game day.
As Omarodian to kick off once again. And this one, a low line drive kick that's going to go out of bounds. Oh, it almost got out of the end zone. And that's the game you play without Taya Morrison doing the kickoff duties. And so Palomar going to get really good field position here with 2:05 to go in the first half.
And again, special teams units on both sides having an impact on this game. Again, we'll see if Palomar can take advantage of it.
As they'll spot the ball at the 35.
And an eternity still on the clock, 2 minutes here in the half.
Yeah, 2:05 to go. Palomar needing a score, a chance to try and go 2 for 1 here. So we're waiting to get the ball set down, and we finally do. And this is a really important drive if you're Joe Early and company. 6 here would do you a lot of good as they'll hand off on a delay, and that ball is out. And the Cougars, I believe, have it. We'll wait for the signal. And it is Cougar football once again.
And just like that, let's see the replay, see if we can see who got a hand or a helmet on it. I want to say it's 45 again.
It might have been Henry Aikahifu once again, as he was the first
Yep.
in. Yep. It certainly was. And Cole Bullock smartly coming around to pick up the football.
That's a nice job. Swarm to the ball, make the hit. Good things will happen. And now the Cougar offense gets another crack at it. Short field here.
And this is a huge momentum swing if COC can put another 6 on the board.
I think it's foot on the gas right here. Take a shot.
As they'll change the plays, they look back to the sideline.
Play clock kicking down. Wouldn't be surprised if timeout here.
And we'll see.
I think Ted got it in.
And they do give the timeout to Coach Iacenta. I wasn't sure if he did. It was right.
It was very close.
At the number.
And I just know he didn't want to take that, but felt that he had to.
You can't take him into the locker room with you.
No, might as well.
I believe I've heard a former coach from COC say that to us before.
May have heard that once or twice.
Once or twice. He's in the building somewhere today. I saw him.
But really, does any coach like to take a timeout?
Never. Never. Not once.
It's been in my experience, line up and play, and if we have to or it benefits us, we'll take the timeout. But you hate to use them if you don't have it in your mind. Now Ted having a little conversation with the official, asking maybe why it took so long to get my...
I think maybe he thought the play clock should have been pumped back up.
Either way, Cougars back at it.
So we got some smoke coming into the field from the barbecue over there, so the wind has changed a little bit here at Cougar Stadium. As Tooney to throw here on first down, has plenty of time, will check down. Ooh, and that one goes in and out of the hands of Zion Slade. And that probably should have been a catch from Slade, but maybe just too much heat on it from Tooney.
Well, and dangerous in the fact that it pops up here. The old bounce ball or tip ball drill just didn't tip enough to the Comets, but never want to see that happen.
I mean, from perspective from the quarterback, you like Tooney's ability to check down there and kind of wait, and not just go to the first guy he sees.
No, he's been playing well here tonight, especially for his first start.
Second down here. He'll keep that option handoff, and he's got a huge chunk up across the 20, all the way down to the 15-yard line. It's a first down for the Cougars, as Tooney Aikahifu once again on the ground on that option, making it work.
Matt, a great start, and I think he's finally found his rhythm and his confidence, and maybe even an extra burst. You know, the first few plays out of the backfield, you thought, okay, well, he doesn't have the step that Cole Doyle has. Maybe I take that back. He looks shifty and elusive out there, especially for a bigger guy.
And this is a guy who played for Dean Harrington at Paraclete, so he's used to this similar style of offense that the Cougars run, and definitely has the ability to run the football when he gets the opportunities. That's a bad snap, and this time Tooney just dives on top of it and shows some football intelligence that time instead of trying to pick it up. And we saw that earlier in the year, I think the first game against Antelope Valley, where he tried to pick one up, and this time I think maybe the coaches said, next time that happens, just fall on it.
Well, that's always a good, some sage advice, especially for a young quarterback here. You know, you always preach, protect the ball, limit the miscues, but now we're getting under here crunch time.
Yeah, 45 seconds to go here in the first half inside of it here, as the Cougars need to go a little faster than maybe they are. Aikahifu will take the direct snap. Looking, wants to roll to his left, will dump it off, and that one was too low. And it'll bring up third down and 18 here. So the big run from Aikahifu, the bad snap, they back up. Definitely within Ty Morrison's range.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Do you try and get a little bit closer and let Ty Morrison? Do you take a shot here on third down, try and get in the end zone?
Or you just put on a hash that he wants, right?
A lot of options here. I feel like anytime.
I know what you want to see.
Yeah, you know what I want to see. But I feel like anytime you're close, points are going to be crucial, especially in a tight ball game like this has been so far.
This Cougars taking their time here.
Coach Banks sending in the play.
Play clock inside of 15 here as Aikahifu and Zool both walked all the way back near the sideline to pick it up. And they'll throw here on 3rd and 18. Now Aikahifu going to step up. Now has to tuck it and run. Wants to get to the outside. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage and then inside the 10. And he goes out of bounds. With about 20 seconds to go on the game clock.
Again, there's that shiftiness. Breaks through, gets through the tackler. Up to the sideline. Scampers for a few more before finally getting pushed out. And I think here comes the kicking team.
I heard field goal.
Yep.
So Ty Morrison going to come in to try this one.
And why not? Kid went 5 for 5 last week. Let's keep the roll going.
Should be a 28-yarder here. Ball spotted right about the 18-yard line. As well within his range, as he's been good from inside 20. That one low, though, and it's blocked, and he'll miss.
Someone got a piece of that.
Yep.
And did I jinx him?
I don't know. I might have too. He was 3 for 3 on anything inside the 30-yard line coming into today, and I think he missed it. Kind of a low kick. Yeah, it was just a low kick. And we saw that on his last extra point, so maybe something he needs to go back to the sidelines and work on a little bit, make an in-game adjustment.
Also, the snap was a little off. Good job
Yep.
even getting that up.
And it might have been blocked on the, well, because it was so low it was blocked and got run into a little bit. We'll take one more look at it.
Yeah. The guy there right there in the middle came through. So, again, Comet special teams.
Yep, coming through. 16 seconds to go here. We'll see what Palomar dials up as they'll hand off and nowhere to go for Walker that time. And that should take us into halftime with the Cougars leading 28-13. So a 15-point lead for Canyons. And not the first half maybe you expected, but if you're COC into the locker room, you take the 15-point lead.
Definitely. You take the lead. You know you've got a few things to work on. But, you know, other than the burst that the special teams has been given Palomar, Canyons has been in control throughout. A couple nice timed balls from the Comment offense, keeping them in the game. I think we got a long way to go. It's going to be a great second half.
And we'll take a break here. Palomar and College of the Canyon. COC leading 28-13 at halftime here from Cougar Stadium.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
Welcome back into the Cougar Sports Network. Matt Robinson, Jesse Munoz alongside you for second half action. College of the Canyons with a 28-13 lead over Palomar. And Jesse, not quite the first half maybe we expected, but 15-point lead.
Not what we expected. Didn't really like what I saw to start. Really liked what I saw to finish. I felt like the Cougars got into a rhythm here after they got through the first quarter, after we got through those first couple offensive series, and now seem to be clicking. So, the offense is converted on a couple quick scoring drives. They've shown the ability to put together a sustained drive. Running game got going, a la Cyrus Zool. So a lot of positives for the Cougars. I think if you're Palomar, you also have some positives to take back to come out of the locker room with. The special teams units were impressive, minus the miscue on the punt, of course, but definitely gave the Comets a spark every time that they were out on the field. So be interesting to see how this second half plays out. I feel like the Cougars are in control and in a position that they're used to being in, playing with that lead. But I got to tell you, I don't see this Palomar team going away anytime soon.
Yep.
I see a strong run game out of Tawi Walker. Look for that to continue, and we'll see what the rest of the cards hold here, Matt.
I mean, it's been as you said, impressive first half for the offense for the Cougars. If we look through some of the numbers, Tuni Aikahifu, 9 for 17, 161 yards, 3 touchdowns. 2 of those to Andre Hunt, who's got 102 yards on 2 receptions. Oh, by the way, Tuni, 66 yards on 7 carries and a touchdown in that first half, leading the rushing attack. But Cyrus Zool with a pretty solid attack for the offensive side for the Cougars. And then we talked about, you said the defense kind of has had that bend but don't break attitude all year long. And Jonathan Thomas leading the way as expected in the tackle front with a couple. And the Cougars with a couple of turnovers as well. They picked up a couple of fumbles and created some opportunities.
Yeah, that's been the name of the game. You know, hang in there, and then boom with the big play. You know, we've seen the familiar names out there, a couple newcomers that have been got their name in the stat book.
There you go.
So look for that to continue. You know, we've said it a couple times. Coach Corbett, defensive coordinator, he's got a lot of dudes out there, a lot of guys he can rotate in and out. So never a dull moment on that defense. And here we go. We're ready to get back at it.
Well, we know Coach Corbett does like to rotate guys in and out and get everybody a chance here. So we'll go with the kickoff here as it's Omarodian once again to kick it off. Garner and Pye back deep. This one a deeper kick, taken at about the 10-yard line by Pye. He'll bring it inside the hash, bounces it to the outside, gets outside the numbers, and brought down from behind by Trey Elliott, but I believe he's going to get called for a face mask penalty.
I was going to say, there's the flag, and we'll see how that ends up. But, Matt, has Palomar not returned the ball to the 35-40?
You know what? I'm going to look at the numbers right now.
I mean, it feels like every time that they're taking the ball, they're getting decent field position out there.
You look, and Tyler Pye, who the Cougars now have gone to 3 times, up over 54 yards in the first half. Now he's, another big return. So all the way to the 40, add 30 more to that. He's got 70-plus return yards on 3 returns today.
Yeah, absolutely. Giving his team a boost. And now look right here. You're past midfield to start the drive. Exactly what you wanted to do as far as bringing the ball back down the field and getting back into the game. Cougars a little bit of their backs to the wall here. We'll see how they respond. But this could be huge for Palomar if they're able to convert on this.
And the offense for Palomar wasn't great in the first half. Just 67 yards passing for Zeke Payne on 10 of 16. Tali Walker had 63 yards on the ground, and that time he stacked up. And I believe it's Henry Ainkahifu right there to stop him.
Oh, you keep saying that name, and you're getting pretty good at it, better than me. But, again, the gang is all there to meet him at the line, and that's what you want to see. Swarm to the ball, pile on, and take him down. It's a good job by the Cougars.
And so no gain on that one. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. As we'll see if they go with Walker again. And that's interesting to see. We'll mention that in a second as they'll throw over the middle. And Thomas with a hit on Walker. And they're able to stop him up, but he gets a gain of 7. As we were saying, interesting down on the sidelines. Tyler Morrison with ice on his right ankle. So,
Matt, real quick, going back to this play, you've seen Jonathan Thomas. Look at him get low here. Go low on the ball carrier. And then you saw a little bit of CPR, club punch rip, trying to get that ball out again, waiting for his teammates to get there. But, again, I like the adjustment that he's made, lowering his leverage, lowering his plane of attack, and being able to make those stops.
So it'll be 3rd and 3 here from the Cougar 38-yard line. Payne to throw, and it's incomplete, and there's not going to be a flag on the field as it looked like maybe Alan Smith got a hand in on Payne on the outside.
Yeah, I definitely held my breath, and I can see Coach Iacinda was looking too, kind of waiting for the call. Looked pretty clean on the replay. Certainly 31 will agree with us.
Intended target was Brockbank. So Palomar going to kick this one away, maybe. We saw them fake one from about the same territory last time with about the same distance on a 4th down. We'll see if they decide to punt it this time. And this time they will, as it's an angled punt from Ogles that'll go out of bounds well before the 10-yard line, and they'll run it all the way up to the 13. So the Cougars will take over on their own 13-yard line first drive here of the second half.
And the Comets content to play field position there, just boot it out, try and back up the Cougars as much as you can. Again, with this quick strike offense the Canyons has shown so far, every few yards helps. Every little bit that you can push them back and, put their backs against that goal line. We'll see how Canyons wants to come out right here. Again, I always I like to establish the run game as they did in the first quarter with Cyrus Zool. But a lot of options out there, a lot of play calls available.
As it's Tooney and Zool in the backfield to start for the Cougars with 3 wide on the near side, as they'll run here on 1st down with Cyrus Zool. And he loses 3 yards, so it'll bring up 2nd down, and we'll call it 13. As they said, Seole got in on the tackle. Had a little bit of help from somebody else there as well. So call it 2nd and 12 here, as it's a loss of 2 for Cyrus Zool. Gilmore, the receiver, on the near side. Elliott slotted inside of him. Tooney will throw here on 2nd down, looking, and that one's dropped. It's just a straight drop. Yeah, and the field judge on the backside says it's a drop.
And Gilmore pleading his case, and that's too bad. He almost came up with it. There was a nice blitz pickup here by the back, giving the quarterback a little bit of extra time.
Yeah, and you could see it just hop off the turf.
Yeah, he tried to plead his case. No fault in that.
Bring up 3rd and 12. And so again, maybe just a little underthrown from Tooney that time. As Ike Hihifu stands in the backfield. Zool to his left. 2 receivers out to each side. High snap. He's going to have to scramble, and that one deflected. And I think just smart to get it out of play.
I was going to say, I don't think that connection was there anyway, but you don't want to take the sack. An unfortunate 3 and out here. But again, limit the miscues, get the ball away. Maybe there was a tip on it, but
I think Josh Fletcher got a hand on it. So we'll see a punt here.
And now again, we've talked about the kickoff return for Palomar. Let's see what the punt return has in store. Opportunity here. The return man right at midfield.
And it's Max Begley that has to punt here. So again, Ty Morrison out of service for the Cougars at this point in time, and he's been the one that's done all the kicking for Canyons so far this year. So we'll see what Begley does. And I believe the Cougars were going to use too much time, and Ted Iacenda forced to take a timeout, and he's not going to be happy with that this early.
No, he's out to meet his team at the 20, kind of with that what is going on type of expression, which we see a lot of head coaches employ from time to time. So talking to his guys out there, seeing what the miscommunication maybe was. But Matt, you talk about the potential loss of Ty Morrison. I mean, that's just taking an arrow out of the quiver of the Canyons Cougars to be able to turn to that offensive weapon. We talked about it earlier, was a big boost last week.
And even a defensive weapon when you talk about the punt game, averaging 41 yards a punt. Has only punted the ball 4 times this year, as the Cougars offense has been very high-powered. But now you press in a second punter in Begley, who, to my knowledge, has not punted before. We'll have to see. As he looks like he handles it pretty well, and it's a decent kick. We'll bounce about the Cougar 35 and take a good COC bounce. And we'll roll back across midfield, and some of the Cougars waving their hands trying to further it along.
Trying to give it a little push, but I think that's about as good as you could expect.
That's great.
You know, kicking out of your end zone, and you get the 8-9 yard bounce. Willed it past the 50 with his teammates down there. So
see if we could take another look here.
What's the old line? If you will it, dude, it is no dream. And it just kept going on and on. They were trying to push it.
Simon Sampson back there, too, with the fan attempt. As it's 1st and 10 here for Palomar. On their own 47-yard line, so a chance here with 5 wide to open for Payne. He wants to throw, has to get it off quickly, has Walker in the flat, and he's brought down with a gain of maybe 1 yard. As I didn't see who got the tackle for the Cougars.
It's going to be big Brian Snoke over there to wrap up and take him down. Look at the pressure of Salazar, force the early release. And then there's Snoke.
Good solo tackle from Snoke. 11 tackles coming into today's game. And again, the defense pressed into service here for Canyons. So they'll go with 4 wide this time. Payne wants to throw, just dumps it off to to Richardson this time. And he's across midfield all the way to the Cougar 35-yard line. That's good enough for a Palomar first down.
You're going to see coming off that same edge where Salazar was last time. Looked like a little bit of a hold. 79 kind of corralled him around the arm. Said, let's do a do-si-do. And meanwhile, his back got up the field.
That was Ike Hiifu again on the outside, creating pressure. And a smart check down from Payne, who last week went 12 for 28 with 170 yards and a touchdown, and trying to add on that performance here and keep Palomar in this football game as they trail by 15. Definitely getting down into a position where they can attack. There's a flag in the backfield, and Salazar with a mean sack as he rips down Payne.
Just gets him by the jersey and slings him to the ground. It was just a matter of time before we're calling Juju Salazar's name. Look at him. Pure strength, speed to the ball. That's a nice job. We'll see what the flag turns out to be.
I think the Cougars are going to decline it. I think it's a hold.
Either way, important to see Salazar get going. He's the type of guy that comes in and makes the big play. Part of that rotation we've talked about with Coach Corbett. Had a huge interception last week at Fullerton to help preserve that game, making his mark here again tonight.
As we'll call it 2nd down and 15, all the way back to the Cougar 39-yard line. So you lose a few yards, you lose it down as well. And strategy by COC not taking the holding penalty is you'd rather have the loss of down than the loss of distance. As Payne, with a high snap, has to go up and get it. Wants to throw over the middle pass. Caught by Garrison with plenty of room to go. And he's got enough for a Palomar first down.
Again, nice little pitch and catch. You're going to see Garrison get into space here right in the middle of the coverage. Finds his little pocket there between 4 defenders. Again, nice play call. Palomar holding on to the ball here. Just another sustained drive.
20-yard pass and catch all the way down to the Cougar 18-yard line. As Richardson in the backfield with Payne. Wants to throw here. Will roll to his right as he scrambles and then just dumps it out of play. A smart play from Payne as he had lots of pressure from Brian Snoke from behind.
I was going to say, I think he heard those footsteps coming right behind him. Snoke tracking him from the get-go. Almost got to him, and I'll just toss that out. I don't want to take that type of punishment.
So it'll make it 2nd and 10. As we have not seen Walker after he took that hard tackle right about midfield on the last Palomar drive. It's been Richardson all drive so far here. And they'll throw here on 2nd and 10. Dumps off to Richardson, and he's able to get inside the 10-yard line. That's enough for a Palomar first down. It'll be 1st and goal from about the 8.
Again, Cougars there. Palomar just seems to be getting just enough every time they need to move the chains. Nice little dump off. You see the linebacker kind of over-pursued a little bit. But, again, the timing was there. The hole was there. They executed.
And it's that dump-off play for Palomar that's been working here as the Cougars have had pressure and Payne just checking down nicely. And we'll see if Canyons can kind of find a way to defend that here. As we stay with that same set, 2 receivers out to each side. Richardson, the lone back in the backfield next to Payne to his right. Wants to throw, throws over the middle. Caught by Garrison at the 5-yard line. Brought down there. Picks up a gain of about 4. It'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line.
Again, Payne doing a great job, forcing that ball into space. He uses a tight window right there. A lot of Cougar defenders once again, but he's able to find his man, keep the drive going.
Palomar looking very comfortable here on this drive. Clock inside 9 minutes now as they bring out another back in Rance Gardner to stand behind as Richardson will run in as like a tight end, a fullback instead. As they'll fake the handoff. Payne around the edge. Good play designed by Palomar, and they are into the end zone with a touchdown.
Again, well executed and blocked. If you're the Cougars, you came in. We'll wait for the replay. But Salazar, I think, does his man, takes on the blocker. Just no one was there to set the edge, and he bounced it right outside and into the end zone.
Very smart play design as Payne gets into the end zone for his first running touchdown of the season. It'll bring on Ogles for the extra point try to get it back to a 1-score game as it's 28-19 currently. But a good drive after the first one from Palomar went by. Canyons with a couple of, or 1 3-and-out to start. And Palomar gets the first points of the second half.
Matt, Palomar showing some scrappiness in there, being able to bounce back, stay in this game. We've seen a couple opponents already. They get down a couple, 2-3 touchdowns, and it's, we'll see what happens. Palomar, no quitting them. They have come back. They bounced back, gotten their offense reasserted and moving the right way. It's a nice job by the Comets.
Much more confident from this Palomar team than maybe you saw in week 2 against a Golden West team that blew them really out of the stadium. Beat them 33-3 or 31-3. I have to double check my scoreboard. But a much different looking Palomar team in that regard, as you were just saying.
And I think even adjustments after that first half, you see a couple of the dump off plays, letting the Cougars over pursue on a few of those. Again, the credence of any good team is being able to go in and make those halftime adjustments, see what they're doing, and see what we want to do to counter. And I got to feel like the Comets have done that so far.
As now you look to Canyons to try and figure something out, as they'll have both Elliott and Gilmore standing right about the 5-yard line. Both came walking way up. As this one a low line drive kick, and smartly TQ Gilmore just going to let it go out of the end zone, as that one wasn't going to be one that he could field cleanly and bring out.
Well, Matt, we talked about the adjustments, and already you can see the defense huddled over there on the sidelines. You know, Coach Corbett's got some adjustments of his own. And again, we didn't really get to see much of the offense on that last drive. We'll see how their game plan philosophy maybe changes in the second half. Again, you still have the lead. A lot of options out there, a lot of different guys, some guys we haven't even seen yet get involved. So we know the connections that are working. It'll be fun to explore what's going to be employed the rest of the way.
Yeah, we haven't heard much from Trayvon Elliott and TQ Gilmore on the receiving end so far today, as those two have been marked very well by Palomar. And we'll see what Canyons can do. They decide to go with the run game here, as it's Zool, and he's able to pound ahead for 3 yards. It'll bring up second down at about 7.
You know, and again, to Palomar's credit, you got to figure TQ and Trayvon Elliott are guys that are going to flash the most on tape. TQ comes into the game second in the state with 4 touchdowns. So, I mean, it figures that they would key on them. That's opened up some opportunities for some of the other guys on Canyons. Again, a lot of time left here. Good ball game underway.
Might have been Samaje Freeman on the run, but it looks like Cyrus Zool to me. So 25 and 26 tend to blend together sometimes in the uniforms. As we'll go here on 2nd and 7. Ika Hihifu to throw. Wants to go to the outside to Hunt, and it's broken up, as in coverage was Jalen Dye.
Broken up, and I think maybe thrown a little short. Hunt definitely had a step on him, and like we said, that's been a combination that's worked all night. He's open. He just underthrows him a little bit. That's a tough one.
Good job by Dye to stay with the play and get back to get him. So it'll bring up 3rd and 7. Very important 3rd down here for the Cougars. I'm not sure what the whistle from the line judge on the near side is for.
Like they wanted to reset the ball. Again, Matt, one of the more important 3rd downs here in this game so far. You don't want to give the Palomar Comets another good round of field position.
It's Ika Hihifu to throw. Palomar bringing pressure. He'll throw underneath. Pass is caught. Enough for a first down across the 40-yard line, out to about the 43, and it's Trayvon Elliott making a mark on the game.
Trayvon Elliott, a nice job here of kind of settling his feet, making sure he hauls that in. Kind of felt like he started to turn before he hauled it in, but again, a nice job seeing the ball into your hands, into possession, move the chains. That's exactly what you needed if you're College of the Canyons.
So they get it up to the 43-yard line. As a good 3rd down conversion from the Cougars, as they go to work with 3 wide on the near side. Hunt the wide man. Zool in the backfield next to Ika Hihifu. He'll run immediately to his left. Wants to throw. Looking downfield. Was trying to get it towards Elliott, who was streaking behind the defense but just overthrown.
Again, the arm strength on the move, be able to launch that ball downfield. He's overthrown his guy a couple times on that. But you like the ball. Just the timing and the execution isn't there.
No, and he throws it where only his guy would be able to get to it.
You're okay with that. It's not the mistake that's going to hurt you. You line up and try and do it again.
It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Same set for the Cougars with 3 wide on the near side. Ika Hihifu to throw. Wants to throw downfield, and that one just got away from him. A busted route maybe. It looked like Hunt fell down.
I said line up and try it again. It was a very similar play. I got to feel like they saw something in the booth that they like. Also had a man underneath.
That was intended for Hunt.
Yeah.
Hunt fell down out of bounds.
So
Hunt went to the outside on that one. And a flag against Canyons, so they'll back up. I didn't see what the flag was for, did you?
I didn't either. No, it came in late.
So it brings us back to 2nd down, and it looks like it's a hold, so we'll call it 2nd and 20 here. As the Cougars need to get to the Palomar 45 7-yard line. The ball all the way back on the Cougar 27-yard line. So more than that. Second and 25, must have been a personal foul.
Yeah, someone said something or someone shoved
Yep.
into somebody, something like that.
As Ika Heifu will tuck it and run this time. Throws, has Hunt, still on his feet, and just dives down, but a good chunk on second down. And gets it into third and long, but third and more manageable.
Almost thought he was going to take off and run with that. Saw his guy at the last minute. And again, there's that paraclete connection we talked about earlier. Definitely feels comfortable going to Hunt.
We'll call it 3rd and 15, as it was Jalen Dye again on the tackle. So big chunk here for the Cougars and another really important third down, as they'd like to move the chains and keep the football. As Tooney to throw. Throws off to Wiggins. He's still on his feet, gets up to the 50-yard line, but it's going to be short of a first down by about 6 yards.
That's a nice job hauling that in and trying to get the little extra. Tim Wiggins, one of those guys, you know, didn't have the reception numbers coming in tonight, but has made some big plays, had some big plays called back so far this season. You know, if he's penalty free, I think he's sitting at 3 touchdowns and right up here with those other guys. But again, one of those dudes in the stable that Coach Isinda and the Cougars can turn to. A little short that time.
As Max Bagley on to punt here on 4th and 6. Had a good punt his last time out. This one wobbling a bit. Fair catch called and muffed, and then recovered by Palomar at the 25-yard line. That was an awkward-looking attempt by Pye to try and pick that one up.
Well, that one even got me excited. But you wonder, after the Cougar bounce that went 8-9 yards last time, do you feel the need to go up and field that to try and save yourself a little bit of position?
Maybe a
Might have
little
gotten
bit.
his head the last time. Would have been awesome for the Cougars to be able to pounce on that. I think Palomar's content to just have possession and reset things.
So now you press your defense back into service once again after Palomar marched down the field on their last drive. And we'll see if the Cougars can make some adjustments here, as it's a one-score ball game, an 8-point lead, 28-20 Canyons. As Payne in the backfield will take the direct snap, hands off to Richardson, who bowls his way ahead for 4 yards. And it'll be second down at about 6. Jonathan Thomas, the first on contact.
Jonathan Thomas continuing to lead the way in tackles for this Cougars team. Talented sophomore out there doing a little bit of everything tonight.
It's 2 wide receivers out to the near side for Payne. Looking, will just dump it off again. And there's that little screenplay that the Cougars have had 0 answer for so far here in the second half.
Yeah, they keep catching them in pursuit. The Cougars are getting upfield. You're going to see here, strong rush that opens up just in the middle. The dump turns into 15 a pop. That'll work for you.
As they'll throw here on first down. This one to the outside. Pass is caught. And it was Brendan Johnson on the reception. It was Latif Adu on the cover. Maybe a gain of 3. It'll be second down at about 7. So Palomar just methodical right now, marching down the field. They've controlled the time of possession here in the second half and are picking up first downs when they need them. Here on second down and 7. 2 receivers out to the near side. Low snap, and they throw over the middle, and that one just straight dropped right into the breadbasket of Dennis Garrison, and he could not pull it in.
Well, I mean, look at the pressure here coming up on the quarterback. You saw the personnel change come out before that snap, and guess who? Big 45, and watch this hit. Boom, drops the quarterback. Got the ball off, but I tell you what, a couple of those are going to take their toll. Never fun to take a hit from Big 45.
Reggie Jones almost got his hand on the pass once again, too. As we're at 4:05.
And so another pivotal third down here.
3rd and 7 here for Palomar. They've been converting on these all second half. The fake handoff. Now Payne will have to step up and run, and he's got all sorts of room. Wide open, slides down at the Cougar 40-yard line. Good enough for a Palomar first down. And again, the over pursuit maybe from Canyons burns him.
Let's see here, a little bit of a zig and a zag. What I noticed is no one sets the edge. He's right there. There's all sorts of green in front of him. Took the slide, but probably could have got a couple more. Just didn't want to take on the DB. But exactly, I think these Palomar coaches saw something in the booth or on tape and made that adjustment.
So Palomar continues to march here all the way up to the Cougar 40-yard line, and they take their time once again. Controlling possession, making sure Canyons cannot have the football. As they'll go with 2 wide receivers out to the near side. Payne to throw, throws outside. And what a great looking attempt from Garrison. He just couldn't haul it in. That would have been a highlight reel play from Garrison had he been able to catch it.
I was going to say, you're going to see him climb the ladder here one-handed. Almost comes down with it. Like you said, that would have been queued up for a highlight, just wasn't there.
And Alan Smith was over there on coverage again, hitting him, making sure he could not come down with it with anything in bounds. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 40-yard line. Palomar not only has controlled the field, they've controlled the clock here in this third quarter. As Payne, another dump off to Richardson, and another 9-yard gain on a little short pass. It's a 2-yard throw and an 8-yard run.
Again, got to the quarterback, but nothing doing, just a step too late. The pressure has been there, but Palomar able to find those openings in the Cougar defense.
Well, look, with a tackle to save a first down, it's 3rd and 1 here. Palomar continues to work. Payne will hand it off. Richardson stays on his feet across the first down marker to the 25-yard line and finally brought down there. But another first down for the Comets as they continue to march.
And again, I feel like there was an opportunity to take him down. Breaks a couple tackles. Keeps trudging upfield. Cougars got to do a better job of stopping and completing the takedown.
Richardson, a guy 5'8", 250 is what he's listed at. And it's just a big body that's hard to take down. And between him and Walker, they've been giving the Cougars fits today. Palomar going to go with a 4-wide set with a couple of tight ends in there as well, as they have a chance to take a shot, and that one deflected away. Good job by the big bodies in the middle, and it might have been, once again, Reggie Jones with his big hand on it.
Yeah, I think so. We'll see here, confirm on the replay. Reggie Jones right over the center, just gets in and gets up. That's a nice job.
Second time today he's done that. And maybe that's kind of maybe the spark that the Cougars need. Know that, hey, if you're not going to get to the quarterback, just get ready to knock a ball down, as that little inside pass for Palomar has worked to perfection here so far in this third quarter. It's 2:12 to go. Payne drops the snap, stays on his feet, wants to run to the outside, throws downfield, and it's incomplete.
Well, that's a nice job of just recovering and not taking the loss right there.
And there was a couple of yellow jerseys right around him.
And that would have been devastating for Palomar at this point of the field, this point in the game, to lose that ball. They're coming in trying to tie this one. We'll see what happens here on the replay.
It's just a low snap.
Yeah, just a low snap, and then, like I said, he's got pursuit on him.
I think if you ask Henry Ikahifu if he wants that one back later, he might say yes. He had him wrapped up and just couldn't get a hold of the feet. As flag on the far side of the field, and not sure what it will be. Legal procedure on the offense. So that hurts, backs you up, makes it 3rd and 20.
Again, we talked about the scrappiness of Palomar being able to battle back, stay in this game, get themselves into position. That is absolutely something you cannot allow happen at this point of the game, this point of the field. You've got to go all in here. You have to convert on this if you're the Comets.
Puts them all the way back to the 30-yard line of the Cougars. As Payne will look to throw. Onto the near side to Garrison. Not enough for a first down.
So a decision to make here.
They've got about 6 yards to get if they want the first down, or are they going to try for the points on the board with Landon Ogles, who's 4 for 4 in the year from field goal range. And I think it's no decision for Joe Early. He's going to send the field goal unit out there. As, like we said, Ogles has been perfect so far this year, 4 for 4. About a 38-yarder here. As the left-footed kicker from the right hash will dial this up. Snap is down, kick is up, plenty of leg, and it is good. So Palomar gets 3 on a long, sustained drive. Leaves 1:16 to go in the third quarter and gets it within 5 here.
Again, not the ideal result you're looking for Palomar, but anytime you're getting points on the board, narrowing the gap here a little bit, maybe re-seizing some of that momentum, Cougars need to respond here. Simple as that. They need to go out, sustain this drive, take it into the fourth quarter, and go from there. Defense has done its part at times. Certainly did so there, limiting to the field goal attempt.
Well, it's 11 plays, 54 yards, 3 points on the board, and they took 4 minutes and 27 seconds off the clock as I try and do quick math. Something in that range. That's unofficial, of course. Math not my strong suit.
Well, that's why we chose the communications field, my friend.
And so Palomar back within 5, and now if you're Canyons, you have to have an answer. You can't
absolutely
do anything but put points on the board here.
This is going to be a key drive here to see how that they respond.
So Ogles will give this one a ride. Gilmore going to field it inside of his own end zone, wants to run it out, still on his feet. Actually, it's Elliott, excuse me. Or no, it's Gilmore, I'm sorry. And he's still on his feet across the 20 and brought down there.
Gilmore trying to make something. He's a guy that has provided a lot of big plays for this Cougar team. And I feel like when he gets the ball in his hands, he's always trying to do something. Zigzags, tries to reverse field, gets it to the 20. You'll take it. I know he wanted more, but it just wasn't there this time.
So, okay field position for Canyons here with 1:05 to go in the third quarter, and you need a long, sustained drive. Got to try and take 4 or 5 minutes off the clock and put 6 on the board if you can. At the very least, you need a field goal. And the question is, who will be kicking that field goal if they go after it? It's Zool here with a big gain across the 30 and pounds his way to the 31-yard line for a Cougar first down.
Yeah, nice job. We're going to see how this is schemed up and executed. But Zool running hard again, as he has done all night. Hits that second level, puts on the burners, enough to move the chains. Tim Wiggins, nice blocking on the outside. And that's how it starts, chunk by chunk.
Zool stays in the backfield with 2 receivers out to the near side. Gilmore the wide man. Elliott slotted inside of him just at the hash marks. Far receiver is Tim Wiggins for the Cougars as they'll hand to Zool again. This time runs right through the pile, pushing ahead and is able to get, we'll say 5. It'll bring second down and 5.
And again, I like it. Stick with the hot hand. Go back to Zool. Let him get things going, continue to work this clock, take it into the fourth quarter. Cyrus Zool, one of those guys that seems to get stronger the more carries and the more in rhythm he gets.
Oh, and this is the way the Cougars started the first half, was running the football a lot. Zool comes out of the game for the moment, and they'll send Moises Haynes in, and the Cougars will just take it to the fourth quarter here. 28-23 Canyons, a 5-point lead. Cougars with the football as we come back.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
Fourth quarter we go. Cougars leading 28-23 as they have the football and 2nd down and 5 from their own 36, and it looks like Ted Iacenda takes another timeout. That's the 2nd timeout for the Cougars here in this second half. I don't think he liked the way they were set up.
Yeah, you see a little bit of frustration. Anytime you see the hands on the hips and the pointing, you don't know if he's questioning or directing, but one thing's for sure, he is not pleased with what's going on out there. So, again, you take the timeout, you save yourself the setback, which is essential here in the fourth quarter. Again, you want the points, you need the points, but I think more importantly, you need to regain control of this game, sustain the drive, and start to dictate things on your terms.
And this was something Coach talked about in the pregame interview with him was the ability to take care of what you need to take care of, and they had a little bit of trouble with that on the offensive side last week against Fullerton. Trying to do something here is Ike Hifu to the outside. Caught by Gilmore across the 40, all the way inside the 35, down to the 25-yard line.
And that's the TQ Gilmore we've been looking for. Hold everything, though. Flag on the field. Started to say that's the explosiveness that Gilmore is known for, but it might all be for naught. Although the offensive line moving up.
Yeah, everybody moving up.
That bodes well.
And it looks like it's an offside flag on the defense if I look at the far official, and he's pointing.
And Ted's waving it off. Of course not. Nope, we don't want it.
Two fouls on the play. There you go.
We'll take the result. And that's what you need. You get the big play from TQ Gilmore. You get another one of these skilled receivers involved in the game. You put Palomar back on their heels a little bit. And for College of the Canyons, it's about regaining that momentum, seizing control of this game, which they have been for the most part. Third quarter, Palomar, again, the scrappiness have bounced right back into it.
Just the first reception of the day for TQ Gilmore, but it's a big one, 43 yards. And the Cougars now within striking distance down at the Palomar 23-yard line. As Ike Hifu to throw, fakes, now has to run, and will just dump it off out of play. And a flag on the near side, and an eligible man downfield on the Cougars as they wanted to run a screen play, and it looked like Cole Smith was way downfield.
Yeah, he had his assignment. He had it in his head. He was going for it. The rest of the play broke down.
Yeah.
And you can't really fault him for that. He's doing the right thing.
There's actually two big Cougars downfield, both there. It wasn't just Cole Smith. It was Danny Valencia as well. They were both way downfield.
And, I mean, short of eyes in the back of your head, you have no idea what's going on behind you in that type of situation. So one of those ones as you shrug your shoulders and go back to work.
And looks like the referee walking over to talk to the Palomar sidelines. Is Joe Early not sure? So it's a 5-yard penalty, so we'll go 1st and 15. We'll back it up to when it was the 23-yard line, so 5 yards back, the 27 now. 28-yard line. There you go. We're just going to see where they spot it.
We'll wait for them to tell us.
Yeah, I try to guess. It doesn't always work. So 14:40 to go here in the ball game. Cougars leading by 5. Empty backfield here for Canyons with 5 wide. Wiggins the wide out on the near side. Elliott slotted closest to the line on the near side. As Ike Hifu fakes and just runs it right up the gut. Will cut it to the outside. Gets outside the numbers and runs over a linebacker. And gets a nice chunk of yardage, maybe 10, 11 yards for Ike Hifu.
Well, Matt, you're starting to rub off on me with that psychic fringe. I didn't say it, but I felt it with the empty backfield and spread wide. Hey, maybe a QB draw here. Maybe something, let him get up the field. Should have said it, didn't, but I like the result either way.
you know, we can't all be daring like me. We go here on 2nd and 4 from the 18-yard line. Zool back in there for the Cougars. Ika Hifu to throw. Throws towards the end zone, and it was through the hands of TQ Gilmore.
He got him. It's as simple as that. He had him, and TQ couldn't reel it in, and that's unfortunate. But certainly beats his man on the inside. And
I think Dye with the hand wave kind of threw Gilmore off.
That certainly had 6 written all over it. Here we go, 3rd and 4.
And you remember, no Ty Morrison potentially, so we have to see who may be pressed into service. It might be Andrew Oxlage, the backup kicker. As Ika Hifu to throw, will dump it off, has Zool in the flat, has room to run, gets to the end zone. Cougar touchdown! Cyrus Zool with his 2nd of the ball game.
Cyrus Zool nose for the end zone and made it. Delivered for the Canyons Cougars. Takes a little bit of a hit right there at the goal line, but it's a moot point. He's in.
Takes a hit, delivers
a hit, and they both went down. Cougars like the 6, and they'll take it all day long. Cyrus Zool having a great game here today. Finally got in rhythm early on, and that has continued throughout the duration. Love to see it.
Oxlage in to try the extra point for the first time this year. And the kick is up, and it is through. So Oxlage comes in, does his job, and the Cougars now have pushed the lead back up, 35-23. So a 13-point lead, and it's back to 2 scores.
Yeah, and exactly what you wanted. Maybe a little quicker, but that's just by nature of the Cougars' offense and what their abilities to do. So scored a little bit quick, but you got the points, which is what you wanted. Again, that momentum game. It continues to swing like a pendulum. Canyons has it right now. We'll see again. This Comet special teams unit, you know, providing sparks all night. Long way to go here, Matt. This has been a good one. Happy to be in the booth with you, sir.
Absolutely, likewise. 6-play, 80-yard drive for the Cougars. Took 2 minutes and 27 seconds, the roundabouts, just under 2 minutes and 30 seconds off the clock, but they put 6 on the board, and that's the important part for COC. As we'll see if they can figure out a way to stop Pye and Garner, and it's really been Pye that's had the big day. Tyler Pye on the return side, as he will stand back at the 10 on the far side. And they will this time kick it to him once again. He'll field it at the 10, runs straight up the hash mark, and is brought down just about the 35-yard line.
And just about at their normal starting position.
I mean, if we looked at the average all day long today for Palomar, it's been right about the 40-yard line, other than their first return of the day.
Absolutely, you know, and that puts you a play or two away from midfield and gets the Cougars on their heels if they're able to convert like that. Again, this special teams unit from Palomar have been very impressive, and I think has really led the way.
Yeah, they've actually, like you said, have been the setup men, so to speak, for the Palomar offense. As now you ask Zeke Payne to once again lead a drive downfield and get 6 points on the board as you trail by 13. And so far, he's done a nice job in the quarterback position. Wants to throw, has to step up, pressured, and that one too much on it as he was trying to hit. I couldn't see who it was, as I got to reset some things on the clock here. Bring up 2nd down and 10. I still didn't see who it was.
I was trying. Couldn't make it out, but hey, let's line up and do it again.
Might have been Ryan Orkacha. So we'll go 2nd and 10. Richardson back in the backfield. We have not seen Walker, so I don't know if Walker is available, as that one thrown to the outside, caught, but punishment dished out by Joshua Madison, as it was Tyler Pye that made the catch.
Madison, great job coming up out of the secondary, making that hit, taking him out of bounds.
And they get about 4 yards, so it should be 3rd and about 6 here.
Now the big third down here for Palomar. They all are at this point in the ball game, but especially on this side of the field, clock continues to be on Canyon's side.
Stopped right now because the chain gang is having some trouble, and the far line judge said we got to stop and get this reset. Is now the clock back to work. Palomar taking their time to get up to the line, and you got to think they can't take too much more time as they got to start going here, trailing by 13. Although they can march down the field and get something done. Maybe that doesn't matter as Payne under duress, and that one might have been knocked out of his hand as Ika Hihifu around the outside knocks him down from behind once again.
Well, and watch, you're going to see his good friend Cole Bullock right there on the pursuit as well. And both of them's like, race, hey, I'm there first. Who's going to get him? Who's going to get him?
And when those two get going, especially Henry Ika Hihifu, who's shown so far this year that he is deadly off the edge, it's good news for the Cougar defense. And that's really the first time in this second half they've had that pressure. So it'll be a punt here as Ogles will kick it away. And this one a better kick, end over end. Cougars going to let it bounce, and they're just going to let it go out of bounds. As Trayvon Elliott thought about trying to pick that up for a split second and then changed his mind.
I think made the smart call there. And even not fielding that, kind of the weird rotation on it, you do not want to mishap at this point of the game. And so Cougars be content to resettle.
And it's right about the average of where they've taken the football all day long today, right about the 20-yard line. There was another look at that Ika Hifu play, him and Bullock coming around the edge.
Yep.
And Henry, he got a lick in on Zeke Payne.
They've gotten a couple in on Zeke Payne. I mean, the young man's done a good job hanging in there, leading this team, keeping them in the ballgame. But there's no doubt about it, he's taking some hits tonight.
As the Cougars go 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line. Ika Hihifu fakes the handoff. Little play action, throws over the middle. Elliott with the catch. Right about the 30-yard line, got bumped back, but should be enough for a Cougar first down as they needed to get to about the 30-yard line.
Nice job and good protection by number 66, Vincent Casillas out there. Rolls out as the personal protector. Stands on his man. He's got all day to make that throw. Nice job.
So it's a first down for Canyons here. As they've got the ball at their own 29-yard line. Zool in the backfield. Gilmore, the wide man to the near side. They're going to pitch. It's actually Moises Haynes, and he's able to push ahead to the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of about 5, maybe 6. Leave about 2nd down and 4.
Again, another strong lead block. I believe that was number 52, Jonathan Aureliano. And Moises Haynes almost had to hurdle the bench, getting pushed out of bounds there.
It's a good first run for Moises Haynes really today. He had one earlier on in the game, but that was really his first long one of the day as the Cougars go with an empty set here. As Ika Hifu alone in the backfield, 5 wide for Canyons. Elliott slotted on the far side, closest to the tackle. And again, that draw play, good enough for a Cougar first down as across the 45 goes Ika Hihifu. And you can move the chains once again for Canyons. And really, if you're COC right now, you're in your 5-minute offense.
Matt, I want to say David Banks, offensive coordinator, checked out of that play and sent that in late. I saw some hand motions and movement there on the sideline, and all of a sudden, I don't think that's what they came up to the line and intended to call, but it worked. And a nice job seeing the opening and making the adjustment.
That's the second time we've seen that, and they'll stay in this 5-wide set. Maybe daring Palomar to try and step up and stop it. As Ika Hifu this time will sit back, wants to throw, looking downfield, and that one was dangerous into triple coverage, and he's lucky it was not intercepted.
Dangerous and maybe, I don't know, quite a gamble, you would say. Like the sidestep to get open and create that room, but there's a lot of Palomar guys in the area. You triple cover and try to force it in there.
I'm not even sure Calvin Littles was ready for that.
Yeah.
I thought I'm covered by 3 guys. There's no way this ball's coming to me.
Well, I think he had it in his mind. That's where he wanted to go, and he made sure that's where it went. But maybe dodged one there, Matt.
So to bring up 2nd and 10, ball at the Cougar 47-yard line. Late substitution onto the field for Canyons, and I don't know how that play didn't get shut down. Is Ika Hifu to throw over the middle, and that one too much to handle for Taekwon Gilmore.
Yeah, that was an odd set of circumstances. Looked like Moises Haynes almost ran into the quarterback just trying to get onto the field. You see him kind of just jumps in and does what he
I
can.
gotta block somebody.
Yeah. And TQ Gilmore again, I feel like.
And there's a flag on the play as well. Yeah, it was a legal substitution against Canyons. Late substitution. Yeah, so that'll put us back at 2nd down and march us back 5 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 15. I was going to say there's no way that is not a late substitution.
Well, I guess the silver lining, now you have the personnel that you want in there. It cost you the 5 yards.
Get another down out of it.
Yeah.
It's 10:40 to go here in the ball game. Cougars leading 35-23. Ika Hihifu in the backfield. Haynes to his right. He'll throw, pass, caught on the outside by Hunt. Stays on his feet and dives ahead across the 35 to the 34-yard line. Good enough for a Cougar first down.
And there's that connection again. It's been working all night. Nice blitz pickup. Moises Haynes on the end. Hunt able to get across the middle and into space. Nice job now, well into Comet territory. Cougars on the move.
5 receptions, had 4 for 137. I believe that should be his 5th. We'll wait and see if the stats update. Is Ika Hifu to throw. That little spin around play the Cougars like to run from the quarterback position. And it's Wiggins with the catch. Gets about 4 yards. We've seen that play a lot from the Cougars. That little fake to one side, spin throw. With blockers out in front, but scouted well by Palomar. And it'll get us to 2nd down, and we'll say about 5, as they give him about 5 yards here.
Cougars, no need to rush up to the line. Watch here if they don't check and see how the Comets line up.
So it's been all Moises Haynes here on this drive for the Cougars.
There's the check. Banks sending in the late play. Again, let that play clock and game clock continue to tick.
Just 2 on the play clock. Ika Hihifu to throw. Has a man. Pass. Caught by Calvin Littles. Into the end zone. Cougar touchdown.
And that is execution, ladies and gentlemen. Again, walk up to the line. See how the defense is lined up. Make the adjustment and hit the open man. Simple as that. Just like they drew it up. He's into the end zone. And the Cougars come storming back with more points on the board. Now firmly in control here.
A perfect ball right over the head of Cullen Shea. Not much he can do. Ika Hihifu now with 4 passing touchdowns on the ballgame. Make it 5, excuse me. 325 yards. And he has looked sharp today in service of Cole Doyles as the extra point is up and good. And the Cougars now have broken it a little bit more open, leading 45-23.
And again, you got to love the play call in there. You know, the whole series there. A couple of those plays that they checked out of or changed at the line were some of the biggest plays of that drive. You get those big chunks. Once you're there in striking distance, it's just a matter of execution. College of the Canyons did a fantastic job right there. Long way to go, 9 minutes, and we've seen that this Palomar team has been scrappy all night long. This is going to be fun the last 9 minutes here, Matt.
Absolutely. This is actually 42-23. I said 45. 19-point lead for the Cougars. Again, math, bad. Even reading math apparently today is bad.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll forgive you.
It's okay.
You do good on the other things.
I try.
So.
We try. It happens. If you can't laugh at yourself, Jesse, who can you laugh at? We go to work with 9:16. Cougars to kick it off, and we'll see if they keep it away from Tyler Pye, who has been great on the return game so far today for Palomar. As we'll try and find the numbers here, as This one a low line drive bouncing kick that Pye tried to field and missed. We'll have to pick it up at about the 5-yard line. And that's the first time today the Cougars have kept him from a big return.
I was going to say, nothing doing there even after he picked it up. Just kind of swarmed, and I'll step out of bounds on this one. But you said it, Matt. First time they haven't been at the 40 or nearabouts all game. And so I think this is a chance maybe if you're Dan Corbett, you sneak in a blitz here. You really apply that pressure. Comets going to be desperate to move the ball in a hurry, try and get downfield as fast as they can. Maybe you catch them here.
As Pye today, 4 returns, 111 yards, averaging 27.8 on the return game, but that one was 0-1. We'll see. So the Cougars will come out in their defensive set, and we'll see if they try and dial up the pressure. Payne has to roll to his right, pursued from behind, and will just run out of bounds, picks up maybe 4 yards. We'll see where they spot it, but Cougars with all sorts of yellow jerseys chasing after him. As it was Miller going after him, a couple other of his friends right there as well. They give him a gain of 2 only, so it's 2nd down and 8. Clock back in motion, so that's in favor of Canyons here. Is Payne to throw, and you got to think Palomar is going to throw a lot. Wants to dump it off. Great play on the inside by the Cougars, as it was Tylen Foster able to bat it away.
Tylen Foster putting Cypress, Texas on the map with that play. It's a nice job.
And that was really the first time in this second half, Jesse, the Cougars have scouted that little dump-off play.
Again, it's about adjustments. I saw a couple series ago, Coach Corbett brought his team over to the chalkboard. You know he was emphasizing that.
As Payne to throw here on 3rd down, and that one in and out of the hands of the intended target. Was trying to get it to Garrison on the outside and just could not.
Yeah, and really a missed opportunity for Palomar right there. You know, essential to try and get the first down, move the chains, sustain the drive, keep possession, all those good things that an offense loves to do. Just wasn't there, wasn't able to finish the connection.
If he had Alan Smith beat on the inside, he would have had enough to gain the first down yardage.
And maybe a little more. I mean, right in the middle of the field, not a whole lot of people behind him. Again, if you're Palomar, you're going to look at it and circle that one as, hey, if we had that, maybe it's a different.
Ogles to kick. Slade and Elliott, but it's a short kick that hits a Palomar player right about the 33-yard line, and that was just a missed punt.
Yeah, you said so. You said it, Matt. I think a little bit of pressure there, but just certainly didn't get there. And I think that just didn't connect right off the foot.
And they'll spot the ball at the Palomar 33-yard line, so Canyons with their 2nd best field position of the day, as they had the ball down on the 4-yard line in the first half at one point in time. So new quarterback coming in here for Canyons. Bryce Bear's going to come in to take over after Tooney with a very good evening of work in, and we'll see if the Cougars just decide to run a long offense or as long as they can, as the handoff to Zool. Maybe 2-3 yards, and actually was Samaje Freeman on the run. His first run of the day. Say he got back to the line of scrimmage and that was it.
So, Matt, I think if you're College of the Canyons right here, you want to grind out the rest of this game. We are famous for saying that nobody works harder than us at College of the Canyons. And to be able to have that extra boost, whatever you call it here in the 4th quarter, do not be surprised if Canyons.
Bears to throw, and he throws an interception. Dropping back into coverage was Walker. He's going to return it back the other way across the 35 to the 40-yard line. And the first turnover of the day from the quarterback position for the Cougars. It's an interception. And it's Bears just had all sorts of pressure from behind here.
Yeah, that's a tough break. And right when I was saying maybe go to the ground game, I feel like I jinxed him a little bit. But hit on the throw, and the ball just popped right up. Nothing you can really do about that. You know, at the same time, this is one of those turnovers that can let your opponent sneak back into the game. It almost happened last week at Fullerton. Cougar defense was able to respond with back-to-back interceptions to close out that game. Would love to see something similar happen here tonight. But again, that Palomar team is scrappy. Look for them to come out here and gun it.
It's the offense for Palomar back on the field after a short respite, and that will play into their hands as the Cougar defense didn't get much of a rest. Payne going to have to scramble for it. Ika Hihifu trying to chase him down, and Payne eventually just runs out of bounds. But he picks up 5 yards. Good job to pick up a big chunk of the chains.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was a nifty little run. It kind of stopped and went again.
Yeah, he almost like lulled Henry into a sense of, oh, I'm going to get him.
Yeah, that was a savvy little run there.
Clock back to work. It'll be 2nd and 5. As Walker back in the game here for Palomar. He missed a lot of that second half. Now coming back in, that pass onto the outside. Stepping up to make the tackle for the Cougars was Mason James, as it was Brandon Johnson on the outside with the catch.
Nice job by Mason James, right on target, right there when the ball got there, limiting any yak after that. And again, all his friends there to help him.
3rd and 1 here, ball right on the 50-yard stripe. 6:35 to go. It's a 19-point lead for Canyons. And the longer you make this drive take for Palomar, the better it is for Canyons, even if you let up a touchdown at this point in time, I think, right, Jesse?
Yeah, clock definitely in COC's advantage. Make Palomar force it.
So Walker going to run, and he just pushes his man back for the first down as he was met in the backfield by Justin Horton, but Horton by himself just didn't have much of a good chance to pull him down.
And I think they might tack something on here. I don't know if they didn't like the late shove out of bounds. The face mask. I was going to say, I didn't think the out-of-bounds play was late. Maybe just got wrapped around and hands found the helmet, so to speak. But either way, that's going to give a boost to Palomar.
And that's not what you wanted for Canyons. Like we said, you want the clock to continue to tick and continue to make Palomar pick up chunks of 10 yards at a time, but you give them 15 there. Now all of a sudden the ball's at the 32-yard line. Big set here for Palomar as they have a tight end in the backfield. Walker straight behind. They'll hand off to Walker. Spins off 4 tackles and gets 7 yards on the play.
And now Walker back doing his thing, how he did most of the first half. Kind of gets up in there and...
I mean, the Cougars did. They had 4 or 5 guys get a hand on him.
He has found a way all night to make it through that first line and get a few extra yards almost every carry.
As he continues to break arm tackles. As Payne going to throw under duress. Will run to the near side. Going to try and get to the first down marker. I'm not sure he's going to. We'll see where the spot is. It might be a yard short.
Well, watch this angle Jonathan Thomas takes, and he's got him dead lined up.
JT had to push his own, pushed Henry out of the way. Get out of the way, I got him.
Yeah, he just couldn't get there quite in time, but certainly had a direct path to the ball carrier.
It's 3rd and 1 here.
JT's having a great game tonight.
Him and Henry Ikahifu both are making their mark on the game as they've done all year long. And the defense trying to get a big stop here as the clock inside of 5 minutes. As Payne to throw, looking to the end zone, pass, caught, touchdown Palomar. Great pass and a great catch, and then a late flag for, I believe, celebration against Palomar here.
That's got to be a celebration or a taunting. Again, a well thrown ball and catch. Execution right over the head of Avi Harris. And Palomar continues to battle.
Tyler Pye able to bring it in. He's had a great game today for Palomar, as he's had a huge day on the return side and puts up a touchdown there on a beautiful pass from Zeke Payne.
You know, and Harris was there step for step, just never got his head turned around, but was in position. You know, you want to feel like he was reading the receiver's eyes on that. Just couldn't get his hand up in between the ball and the receiver. Again, Palomar will not die.
Nope.
No dying, no quitting them.
It's Tyler Pye now 140 total yards today. Has 27 yards on 3 receptions and a touchdown. And Palomar, the extra point is good, so it's back to a 12-point ball game. And Zeke Payne has had an impressive night, his best night of the season so far, 23 of 39, 192 yards and 2 touchdowns. Has not thrown an interception today, has looked very good for Palomar on the offensive side, and a Palomar team that at 2-1 right now, even if you drop this game and go to 2-2 going into your league season, you have to be very comfortable and very happy.
Yeah, a lot to be excited about. Some of the things, especially in this second half. I think the things most impressive to me about Palomar is, again, this Terminator personality trait. They just keep coming and coming and coming. And Cougars are giving them everything they can, offensive and defensively. So a lot of heart from Palomar, making this long trip up north, coming up here under the lights for a top-ranked team. They've shown some things tonight.
Exactly. Just when you thought Palomar might have been dead, I mean, they just come back to life. And they get a big touchdown with 4:50 to go. And now you ask Canyons to once again, and Henry Ikehifu to go down and take some time off the clock, and if you can, put points on the board. Even though you're up 12, you've got some cushion, but you need to get first downs, even if it's only 10 yards at a time. As we'll see what they do here with Ogles, and that kick going to be fielded short of the goal line by Elliott. He's going to run right back up the middle across the 35, and then a late flag coming in. Probably going to be in the area of a hold on the Cougars, so it's going to negate most of that return.
Well, excuse me. We'll see where we actually end up here. But I think if you're College of the Canyons, you want to end this game right here on this drive. You don't want to turn the ball over. All those sprints you run, all those weights you lift, all the conditioning you do, it's for points in the game like this, where you go out there, and I've heard Coach Corbett, Coach Iacinta, Coach Dumlau, our offensive line coach, talk about if you can go out there at this stage of the game and inflict your will on the other team, maintain that possession, do what you want to do with the ball, there's no better feeling. And especially to be able to do that and close out the game with a W, I think that's got to be the mindset right here. Whatever package, whatever scheme you bring out there, you do not want to give that ball over. You certainly cannot afford a turnover here.
And Henry Ikehifu back in the game. Remember, it was Bryce Bears on the last drive that got hit from behind and threw the interception. That led to a Palomar touchdown. So far, Palomar 13 points off of turnovers by the Cougars as they'll run with Moises Haynes, and he just pounds his way 10 yards and picks up the first down.
Again, that's the type of run that Moises Haynes is capable of. It's been kind of a Cyrus Zool game here tonight. He's had the majority of the carries. But Moises Haynes, when he gets his opportunities, he can make the most of them.
Bounced off a couple of tackles, carried a couple of guys forward, churning the feet the whole way.
And that's exactly what you want here. Keep the clock moving, keep the ball moving, maintain control.
Ikehifu taking his time. 15 seconds on the play clock here for the Cougars, but they can really just delay. Hunter Smith in there in a tight end position on the near side of the offensive line. 3 receivers out there for the Cougars. Yeah, false start. Movement up front on Canyons. Donovan Reeves was the first one moving. And so you back yourself up. 1st and 20.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Again, one of those ones that'll cause Coach Iacinta to hands on the face, hands on the hips, but nothing you can really do. Let's just go line up and maintain focus here.
Well, and especially because it's on your offensive line at home with no crowd noise. Those are the ones that you dislike as a coach very much. Cougars taking their time here. It's a 5-yard penalty, so 1st and 15. Ball all the way back to the 33-yard line. Ika Hihifu to hand off. Haynes right up the middle, plenty of room. Burst through the middle across midfield and brought down onto the Palomar side of the 50-yard line.
He's starting to feel it. 2 big back-to-back runs there. Takes the pop, or like you said, Matt, maybe delivers the pop. Moises Haynes, a hard runner out there. One of the leading sophomores on this team, I know that. And good to see him getting an opportunity to close out this game. Nice run, young man.
Huge gain all the way up to the 47-yard line. 17-yard run for Haynes. Clock back in motion, and that is in favor of the Cougars here as we're inside 3 minutes. As Ika Hifu in the backfield with Haynes back there with him. And they'll just go back to Moises Haynes, and he churns his feet for 5 yards. And Palomar are going to be forced to use a timeout here.
And this is exactly what you wanted. Keep the ball on the ground. Get those big bodies up front like they've done all night. Move the line and grind this game out.
2nd down and 5 will be out of the timeout. And even that run from Moises Haynes right there, very impressive. And we haven't seen a lot of him this year, although be it our 2nd game here at home. But did not see him much in the opening week against Antelope Valley. Has not really been pressed into much service. Just 11 carries, 84 yards coming into the game. But those last 2 runs, and really all 3 of the runs he's had, have been very good here in this 4th quarter.
Well, again, I think some of that's by virtue of just the game situation. I know he had some strong runs in week 2 down at Southwestern, but then they got up by a bunch.
Yep.
And I think everybody played. And so maybe, he didn't get those sustained opportunities, but definitely showed flashes. And again, here tonight, when the game's on the line, when you need it the most, he's been able to deliver. Same thing with Cyrus Zool. Way to get him going in the 1st quarter, and that has carried through tonight. Cougars offense has never been a problem. We've seen that again tonight.
Yeah, much better performance tonight for Canyons on the offensive side as you put up 42. Haynes got run into in the backfield, maybe lost a yard that time, and Palomar immediately taking another timeout.
And Matt, in terms of impressive performances, you come in with a new quarterback under center, a tough, maybe unknown opponent, a little bit under the radar. Like I said, Palomar's shown some big things here tonight, some positive things. To be able to go in and settle down after the turnover, playing from behind for the first time this season, a couple variables that were thrown at the Cougars that they hadn't seen yet this year, and I think responded nicely.
Real quick, want to thank our crew tonight for this game on SoCal College Sports. Aldo Canepa, our director. Mike Nahar, our main camera operator. The guys from SoCal College Sports. Mike Cepeda for setting everything up. Of course, Chad Peterson and our athletic director. And Steve Rise, the dean of athletics and kinesiology. I'm trying to think of the whole title, and I can't right now. My brain has completely frozen.
And of course, our staff up here in the booth,
Absolutely.
Our crack stat team, Miss Lauren Anderson and Mr. AJ Wilding, 2 of the best in the state. And our clock guy, Tim Dugan, clock and scoreboard. And our new PA announcer for this year, Dave Horrigan, all doing a tremendous job. Love to have them in the booth with us.
So we go here on 3rd down, and we'll call it 5, maybe 6 for the Cougars. As a 1st down here would force Palomar to use another timeout as Ika Hiifu to throw, looking downfield, has a man, pass is caught inside the 10-yard line.
Hunter Koch, Valencia High School. And just when you think the Cougars are going to be content to line up and run and gash it out, they go right over the top, move the chains, get a little bit closer to the goal line. I think they want another one here, Matt.
I'm not shocked by that, to
They
be
want
quite
the
honest.
exclamation point.
Scotch guy, I don't even have listed on my roster, but we'll take it. Big 1st down, his first catch of the year, I believe.
Yep, Koch out of Valencia High School, 5'8", 175. Nifty little freshman out there.
As it's 1st and 10 for the Cougars, and they will run this time. And just a couple of yards, and then a couple of guys getting up and getting a little heated here as it was Haynes once again. And Haynes will come out. They'll bring in Damon Banks as Palomar has decided not to use their final timeout with the ball down inside the 10-yard line. Cougars need to get to either the 2 or the 3. I can't really tell from our angle for a first down, but really inside of a minute, you're just running as much clock as you can. And if you put up 6, you put up 6. As Banks on the counter across the 5 falls down, and that might be enough for a Cougar first down, maybe actually a couple of yards short. It'll bring up 3rd down and maybe 2. It's a good little run from Damon Banks. Just his 5th carry of the year. And the Cougars going to send in the big unit here, the big jumbo package, with Cole Bullock coming out to stand in a fullback position. Cougars behind on the substitution there. And it's actually 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Canyon's really taking their time and are going to let the clock run all the way down. They took way too long to get everybody on the field. I mean, if you're Coach Iacenda, you're okay with that. I mean, you're up 42-30. You're up by 12, and we're going to move the ball back. I mean, he didn't really look upset. He kind of just was like, what's going on? Why do we keep sending different guys out?
Not upset, but Matt still looked for the explanation.
Exactly. What happened?
Which is funny to me. But again, a positive result for Canyons. Going to start the season 4-0. A tremendous start. Big one next week, Matt. And
yep,
we will be right here in the booth.
As Coach Iacenda going to pick up his 55th career win as the Cougars head coach, so a milestone victory for him. But now looking ahead is a Riverside team that is the top team in the state of California right now, the defending state champions, and boy, oh boy, heavyweight matchup.
It's going to be a good one. And a rematch nearly 2 years in the making. You remember that College of the Canyons, their last action in 2019 was at that SoCal championship game at Riverside College in late November. Riverside obviously came away with the win and went on to win the state title, well deserved. But I know College of the Canyons has been looking forward to this one since schedules were released. And it's going to be a good one.
Another penalty on Canyons for delay of game, marching themselves all the way back to the 11-yard line here. And it looks like they're going to just take a knee. As we'll see if we have to run one more play. Doesn't it look like we will? So the Cougars will improve to 4-0, a 42-30 win. It was a little tighter than they expected, but Jesse, they get off to that perfect start. Now you look ahead to Riverside.
Like I said, Riverside coming in, #1 team in the state, one of the top teams in the nation. This is going to be a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're able to tune in or come meet us at Cougar Stadium. Want to give a special announcement. Next week we are inviting all Santa Clarita Valley area staff and students to attend the game for free. So if that's not in your plans right now, please make sure to add that to your calendar. Meet us down here at Cougar Stadium under the lights.
42-30 win for Canyons. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Canyons and Riverside here on SoCal College Sports and the Cougar Sports Network. Have a great night, everybody.